This is the Annie Frey Show on 97.1.
Happy Monday. Is it Monday? Is it Monday? Feels like a big, fat Monday.
Yeah, it's a super fat Monday.
Haven't been here in a week and a half.
Yeah, it's this is Fat Monday, not to be confused with Fat Tuesday.
Totally.
Which was earlier this year.
Totally different holidays.
Yeah.
Fat Monday and Fat Tuesday. Happy Fat Monday to you, Ryan Wiggins.
Thank you very much. I feel it.
You're looking very Fat Monday today.
Thank you very much, PHAT.
For those who grew up a few decades ago, can you imagine explaining that to a kid who's 14 right now? Fat, but with a PH.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why we would try to do that, because it was stupid at the time.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. We've got a great show planned for you today. I am back from vacation a week and a half in Central Florida. It's as hot there as it was here. The difference is that when you go to Central Florida and the heat index is above 110, and you're like, let's spend the whole day outdoors. I keep telling people, they're like, oh, you come to Central Florida in the dead of summer. Why do you do that? First of all, because my husband's a teacher, and that's when he has time off. But second of all, because it's just as hot at home. But I always forget that caveat of I stay inside when it's this hot at home. And in Florida, you're like, how about 25,000 steps? It doesn't make much sense.
Yeah, but when you're in Florida doing the exact same thing, you could just say, but I'm in Florida.
Yeah.
And it all makes sense.
Yeah. And I am... let's just say happy the whole time that I'm there. Every time I was talking with our boss, who also has been spending some time in Florida. And it's like every time you go there, you're like, why am I going home? And the answer is because this is where my people are, and this is where you are. And I'm not you, Ryan Wiggins, the people, the St. Louis people.
I'm also here, though.
You are also here, and you are also in the qualification of people.
Yeah.
I was not bumming about coming back to work. Isn't that a blessing?
Yeah, it's great.
Are you bumming about me coming back to work?
No, I'm glad that you're back, because when you're gone, I host a lot, and it's harder.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
You get to drive. You get to control.
I know that's the one thing that it is a little bit easier. You can control the topics a little better where you go, but I've gotten very used to just responding to whatever you talk about.
Did you just say rary?
Very used to it.
I've gotten very used to it. Oh, man.
I've gotten really good at it, too, I might say.
A lot happened while I was out, of course, but I think that the most impactful thing that happened, which I'm sure has been covered very much so in the show, but we're going to do it while I'm here, too, here today, is the passing of Senator Lindsey Graham. What a surprise that was. A shock to hear that. One of the few times on my break where I was like, we're turning the news on. My kids are like, do we have to watch the news? And I'm like, when we go on vacation, I was like, no. We do not have to watch the news, which is why I like to take a big chunk of time off at once as opposed to, long weekends here, long weekends there, over and over. Because for me to actually feel like I'm on vacation, I have to feel like I don't have to keep up with the news. But something like that happens. A senator passes away. And let's be honest, Mitch McConnell, I did see the photo of him with his wife and a lot of conversation as to whether or not there was any AI generation in that. Did you guys cover that?
Well, we covered the topic. We didn't talk about AI as much, but there was a lot of AI out there of that picture.
Do people feel like that was a proof of life that was adequate to make people go, he's just as good as ever?
I don't know. I don't know that anybody went like full conspiracy on it, but everybody did exactly what you're just saying. Said, are we sure? This is probably enough for me, but are we sure?
Yeah. Well, I don't know that anybody is sure. So it's like all the attention is over there on Mitch McConnell, and then Lindsey Graham, who is a very divisive senator on the Republican side of the aisle. He was what people would call a hawk. He was like, war, war, war. That was the caricaturization of him. He was a good Republican senator, I think. That's my assessment of it. And it is a loss for the United States Senate to no longer have him. We will speak with Senator Eric Schmitt in 10 minutes from right now. Has he been on the show lately?
No.
So we'll get his reaction here to learn about his thoughts about the passing of Senator Graham and just kind of find out what happens next in the Senate in the wake of the loss of Senator Graham, but there's also a lot of other things that are culminating in the Senate, and the SAVE Act is certainly one of those things. It's incredibly important, especially based on what we've heard from President Trump's speech that he gave on Thursday night, identifying Chinese interference in our elections, that we secure our elections as much as possible. I asked the same question after I listened to President Trump's speech, which I did put myself in front of a television for to watch that in its entirety. And my question when President Trump was speaking last week about election security was basically, did any of the interference cause a change in the outcome of the election? I don't think that question was even addressed in the speech. It's the same thing that happened in 2016 under the Obama administration. I think it was in December where they revealed some indictments with some Russia interference in the election, where they were trying to buy Facebook ads and trying to influence the outcome of the election. But they said specifically it didn't have an effect on the outcome of the election. But they did try. I would be shocked. You know how when President Trump's reporting on the numbers of border crossings, and he says, they say there's 0. That can't be real. It can't be 0. He's like, there's got to be a few somewhere, but they report that it's 0. If you found out there was 0 Chinese influence, attempted interference in our election, you would be like, you just haven't looked hard enough.
Yeah.
That's what China does. That's what Russia does. Guys, that's what the United States does in other elections. We do the same kind of thing. And so I need to know when you have that type of evidence, yes, expose it, yes, show it, but also please tell us the kind of impact it did or did not have. I don't know if we know the answer to that question yet, but I do think that it's important that we do have the information out there and we do show it. Taking that conversation from Thursday, from the president's speech into the flare up, I don't know what we're calling it, of the Iran conflict, I've got questions. Okay. And we're going to speak with Victoria Coates at 1:30, Vice President of the Heritage Foundation's Catherine and Shelby Cullen Davis Institute for National Security and Foreign Policy. That is a mouthful. Former Deputy National Security Advisor to President Trump as well. We're going to talk to Victoria Coates about a myriad of things, especially the lives lost here recently when Iran continues to fire missiles into Jordan, I believe it was. Two things cannot be true at the same time. Iran cannot be in a position where they are completely decimated and they have no military capacity. And at the same time, we are losing the lives of military members, American soldiers, American warriors. We can't be losing those lives. And we can't see Iran firing missiles into countries, Kuwait, Jordan, all these areas around Iran where they are a threat. One of these things, there has to be some sort of caveat, like a handshake that reaches one side of that statement and the other to make it accurate. So Victoria Coates, I'm going to ask her that question first. Have we decimated Iran's military capacity or haven't we? Because it does seem to me like they still have the capacity to cause trouble. Maybe it's that kind of annoying little pesky trouble, but there are families who have lost their loved ones now in this conflict because of Iran's current capacity to destroy. That doesn't, to me at all, mean that we shouldn't be in the situation we're in right now, but we have to continuously assess the cost of what we're doing, and we have to understand that there are people who signed up to serve their country, who gave their lives in it. We have to honor that. And we have to honor that with constantly questioning the mission, because when you question it, the answer at the end can still be, absolutely, this is what we need to do. And those people signed up, volunteered to give their lives for a mission, for a goal, to serve the commander-in-chief and ultimately the Constitution of the United States, to uphold the Constitution of the United States. And if that means that the lives that were lost this weekend protect future generations from nuclear fallout from a psychotic, religiously zealotry Iran, then those people are patriots and heroes, and we should constantly be asking ourselves the question as to what the mission is so that we can reaffirm that we are on the right path. I think that there should be righteous anger when Iran retaliates in the way that they're retaliating right now, when the United States of America has shown up repeatedly to say, let's sit down and talk about this. Let's make a deal. Let's end this. Let's invest in a prosperous future for Iran. And Iran can't get out of their own way. over and over and over again. And people look at President Trump and they're like, get out of this conflict, get out of it right now. Folks, when Joe Biden did exactly that, more American lives were lost. And we didn't talk about it because the political talking point at that point in time was Joe Biden finally ended the Afghanistan war. That was the whole point. He needed the political talking point that he had the fortitude to end something that was started decades before. There were lives lost, yes, but he did not honor those lives. We did not ask ourselves the questions over and over and over again to say, is this the right mission? So that we had the opportunity to say, hell yes, it's the right mission. Questioning the situation and the progress towards an agreed upon goal is always important. It's important in war. It's important in life. It's important in budgeting. It's important in parenting. It's important in job decisions. It's always important. You cannot look at a president or appointees that you like and trust and say, I won't question them. I trust them wholly without ever being willing to do that. Trust but verify always. And we're going to do that today with Victoria Coates at 1:30. When we come back, Senator Eric Schmitt is going to talk to us about the life and legacy of Senator Graham. We're also going to talk to him about some other efforts that he is involved in the Senate. Senator Eric Schmitt on the Annie Frey Show coming up next.
Did you know replacing old vinyl windows with more vinyl windows might not be the best choice? Hi, it's Kim, and I'm here to tell you about Infinity from Marvin Windows, because these fiberglass windows, they're energy efficient, they're beautiful, and they're custom built to fit your home perfectly. The team at Lakeside Renovation and Design just makes the process so easy. I love the fact that they even offer a lifetime workmanship warranty. Look, if you're tired of drafts, high energy bills, or maybe hard to open windows, now is the time to upgrade. Visit windowsbylakeside.com to schedule your free consultation today.
For state senate, I like Mike. Mike Deering knows what a hard day's work looks like because he's done it his whole life.
I like Mike. He's a dad. He knows what our families are up against.
Mike Deering's a businessman. He knows what red tape actually costs.
I like Mike because Mike Deering stands with President Trump. Secure the border, cut our taxes, put Missouri first.
I'm Mike Deering. Career politicians spend more and tax more while your family gets squeezed. I'll lower your taxes, keep your money in your pockets, and cut government waste so deep it'll make the politicians squeal.
Mike Deering, farmer, small business owner, dad, conservative. I like Mike.
I like Mike.
I like Mike.
For state senate, I like Mike. Mike Deering. On Tuesday, August 4th, vote Republican Mike Deering for state senate. Make common sense conservative leadership common again. Paid for by friends of Mike Deering. Megan Kaiser, treasurer.
Men, are you just not feeling it? Could be your testosterone. U.S. Men's Medical Center in St. Peters helps men experiencing loss of energy, focus, concentration, and low libido. Check out the testimonials at usmensmedicalcenter.com. Patients are excited about feeling great, having energy, improved libido. Plus, they love the staff and the fact that they accept all insurance, including Medicare. Call U.S. Men's Medical Center at 636-244-5333. usmensmedicalcenter.com.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's Best Eggs. They're just so delicious with better nutrition, too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
Annie Frey is St. Louis conservative.
Up to the Senate. I've spoken with Speaker Johnson. He is communicating with Leader Thune on trying to get this. This is a priority. We keep passing bills and attaching the SAVE Act in the House, so hopefully it'll get done this week.
So there you have Comer there talking about the importance of the SAVE Act being passed. Representative Comer in the Senate. It seems as though it's hanging out there. We know somebody specifically who's been pushing this for quite some time, and that's our friend here in the state of Missouri. Senator Eric Schmitt joins us once again. again. But before we get to the Save America Act, Senator Schmitt, I do want to give you the opportunity to talk to us about the legacy of the late Senator Lindsey Graham. It was quite a shock to hear that news last week. I'm sure that you knew him. Talk to us about Senator Lindsey Graham. What should Missourians know about the late senator?
Well, he was a friend. He was, if you went to dinner, with anybody, any of the colleagues that in the Senate, and we do that. He was the life of the dinner. And there are not that many senators that play golf, actually, surprisingly. And Lindsey and I would play with the president. We would play just he and I. And look, we agreed on a lot of things. We didn't agree on some things, actually, on some foreign policy stuff. But he was just he was somebody that was always trying to build you up. He was literally one of the funniest people I've ever met in my whole life. Just kind of like that. The back and forth that just sort of happens, kind of that situational comedy. There's so many stories I could tell, but they're not appropriate for radio, probably.
Come on.
But no, he's just he was a friend. It really is a loss because I'm not sure it's really it doesn't feel real. Their next week will be the services for him. I think next Tuesday. And, he was a really fun guy to be around and definitely will be missed.
Senator Schmitt, I just wanted to ask you to speak to, he's, kind of a divisive person in the Republican Party as well. I think everybody was happy to have his Republican vote in the Senate, of course, in the party. But I look at the divisions in the Democrat Party right now and their bit of soul searching, and I look at the divisions that do exist in the Republican Party. And he was considered to be hawkish and that type of a thing, but he was always present. He seemed like a patriot, and like wherever direction he was headed, he always seemed to have a passion for America and this country. Do you feel as though his legacy is kind of being a little bit more aggressive on the military side? Is that an accurate assessment of who he was, and what was the foundation for his purposes behind that position?
Well, I mean, look, he believed in American strength. There's no doubt about that. Now, he and I differed a little bit on when and where and how and for how long. That was sort of, I guess, and some of that's generational. And he and I talked about it. So I'm not talking about school. We would spend time talking about how we viewed, I think we got to get back to what are our core national interests, which are the homeland, the Western Hemisphere, and the rise of China. And Lindsey was very focused on that, but also other places in the world. And so, but some of it's a coming of age of when kind of you came of age in politics. He's very close friends with John McCain, who had a kind of a similar worldview as Senator Graham did. And so my outlook's just a little bit different, but that's okay. But he and I were still friends, right? We would still. And we worked together on so many things. He and I worked together on the Save America Act. We worked together on immigration issues. When the Democrats were shutting things down on ICE, it was he and I that were the first ones on the floor saying, we're not backing down from this. Yeah. You're not going to hold this hostage. We're still going to enforce our immigration laws. And I think that's, to me, politics is the art of the possible. And you work with people of goodwill who you can get some things done with. And he was a very effective ally when he was on your side. And so, I just on a human level, I think that I'm going to miss him because he was, I've talked a lot about kind of the younger senators we came in together, J.D. Vance and myself and Katie Britt and Ted Budd and some of these, that replaced people of a previous generation. So if I'm at dinner, I see those people a lot, but Lindsey was also kind of part of that group. Mm-hmm. He was somebody that you would see. And, he would tell stories about when he first got into the Senate 25 years ago, right? And I think that's all good. If you want to do a good job here, and I take my job seriously, you want to learn as much as you can. One of the coolest things, people ask me what's the most surprising thing or whatever about the Senate. I think one of the neatest things that I've come to learn is that it's the power to kind of convene. You can call anybody in the country and get their point of view on things. And so I don't talk about it a whole lot, but a lot of times when I don't have a dinner with a colleague or something like that because my family's in St. Louis. I go to Washington. I try to learn. I'll meet up with a former ambassador or a policy expert on a different issue and just try to soak up as much information as I can to serve the people of Missouri the best way that I can. And so anyway, he was a fun guy to be around. And so I think for me, the way I've talked about it the last week or so now is that he was a friend and. You just couldn't help but like the guy. he was seriously, and I like to have, fun and crack some jokes, but he was the top of the list. He really was a funny guy.
Yeah, and you have to be willing to sit around to soak up what other people are saying from people who have different perspectives and think maybe completely differently or maybe nuanced in different places differently so that you can broaden either your resolve for understanding where your position is or potentially changing it. I do want to ask you, Senator Schmitt, about in the wake of the Supreme Court ruling on birthright citizenship, there's this interesting wrinkle here that involves foreign diplomats who may have citizenship achieved. Talk to me about the effort that you are making right now. You've written to the Secretary of State about this issue, as well as the Secretary of Homeland Security, calling for citizenship illegally obtained by foreign diplomats' children to be revoked.
Yeah, so the decision, I think, was a terrible decision. I think you got it wrong. The 14th Amendment and the civil rights legislation that immediately followed it in the 1860s was really meant to make sure that former slaves' kids were fully citizens. They wanted to leave no doubt about that. That's why it was drafted. And so when there's this operative language about subject to the jurisdiction thereof, or in other texts, not subject to a foreign power, right? What they were really trying to get at was these were former slaves and their kids. They were full citizens. They never intended ever for, like, if you're from China and you want to come here for a week and you have a baby and you go back, that your kid is somehow a citizen, can go back to China for 18 years and come here again and be a citizen and run for office. That is, like, it's the most ridiculous assertion you could make. But one of the things left over that I think is low-hanging fruit is, well, clearly a diplomat is, and their kid, if they have a kid here, they're subject to a foreign power. They're a diplomat that has come here from another country on a temporary basis. It can't mean that their kid that's born here for the 6 months they're here, or even for the 2 months they're here, is a full-blown American citizen. That's not the intention either. So we're trying to get that clarified and have the Secretary of State and DHS look at that and make that clear, because theoretically, one could argue now that person that was here from Burma, their kid, when they turn 18, can come here and be a full-blown citizen. Like, that's nuts.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of kind of fallout from that decision that we're trying to clear up, including proposing a constitutional amendment to ultimately change it as well.
That would be a big deal, but there does seem to be a lot of support for it, as there is, to transition to the last subject before we let you go, Senator Eric Schmitt with us, for things like voter ID. Now, the reconciliation process makes it so that if the Republicans or whomever can muster 50 votes to pass the Save America Act, J.D. Vance, as the vice president, the president of the Senate, can come in, cast the tie-breaking vote, and get this thing passed. I am wondering if you feel as though there is a actual possible chance that this is going to get done. It seems like whenever I hear any senator asked this question on the Sunday shows or whatever, what you're going to tell me is why it should pass, but I'm interested in if it can pass, Senator.
That's a good question. I mean, I don't blame you for that. No, I know. I get asked that a lot. Yeah. Along with the other question I get asked the most is, when is there going to be, like, real accountability? When are people who weaponize the government going to actually be held accountable? I would say that among my conservative friends, those are the questions that I get asked the most, and rightfully so. But to answer your question, I don't know what to say other than I'm hopeful. Like, I'm all in. And I think there's two paths, okay? So the first one we've probably talked about the most, which is it's legislation. The most realistic way to do it is it's the talking filibuster, which is what you do in states like Missouri, and I assume in Illinois. I don't know Illinois, but
they don't even allow the Republicans to see budgets in Illinois. So.
Right.
I don't know.
They're in exile. Yeah. Pritzker's got them in a camp. But you have to hold the floor. Like, you don't get to just come and punch a card.
Yeah,
and say I'm against it. You got to work for it. And that's really what I'm asking. Like, we got to dedicate the time to go do that. And somebody's going to wear out. It's going to either be them or it's going to be us. I'm perfectly happy to try to go toe-to-toe with Cory Booker, who can be like the last man standing on this thing, whatever. But we got to have the time to do it. So that's the one bucket. The second bucket is, I think, as I was coming in the clip you had from Comer, I think what they're doing in the House is they want to include in a reconciliation package, which is only 51 votes, as many aspects of it as possible. But here's the truth about it is, you can, through reconciliation, you can only do budget-related matters, right? And there has to be a budget. So what we could do, which I'm all for it if we can pull it off, but it's not the whole kit and caboodle like the actual legislation is. It's to have money in there for things like the photo ID piece, for the making sure they're American citizens, or the mail-in balloting, protections we want to have in there. So it's more of an enticing mechanism to do it. So it's not exactly the same thing as the first bucket. So I'm all the above, but I think the first one is the surest way to do it. But again, it really does take a dedication of time on the floor that would be weeks and weeks on end, which again, I'm all in. I've got the provision that the president wants, the 5 pillars. That's my amendment to the original bill. But we gotta make sure we got enough people on board. And in the way that would play out, not to bore you with details, but
not boring us here.
So here's what would actually happen. So we say we're going to go to it. We have to have 50 plus 1 to get onto the bill. Then it's on the floor. Then it has to be the only thing that's on the floor. And then let's say we're in weekend of week 2, it's Sunday morning at 2 a.m. Okay. And a Democrat says, I note the absence of a quorum. So we're responsible for producing 51 votes at any time someone asks. So we got to make sure we're able to do that. That's the kind of commitment that people have to gauge of whether or not we can pull that off. I would hope that we could, but that's the way it wouldn't work, is if we don't have 51 people who show up at 2 a.m. to say, hey, we're here, we're going to keep going. The way it works for them is if they tire out, they run out of 2 or 3 weeks of people, you're going to have some people like Chris Murphy and Cory Booker that are going to be able to hold the floor for days. And then you're going to have somebody like Chuck Schumer who isn't going to be able to do that, right? So that's kind of how it would practically play out. And I think it'll be fascinating. Like, the country would learn a lot about the Senate, and they'd learn a lot about these issues if we did it. And it would also make clear that when people watch Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, that's not how it works. But it should work like that. But that's actually not how it works. It's more like kabuki theater, where you show up or you don't show up, and you say, let's go or let's not go. It's like a punch card as opposed to a shot clock.
I feel like the Senate would learn a lot about the Senate if you engaged in that. And we would all, I know we're nerds here, but I would love it. And I would.
Oh, I would love it. Listen, I would love. Now, here's the thing, though. You wouldn't want me on the floor. No one would want a Republican on the floor taking up time. So it would be all the Democrats on the floor taking up time. But if the shoe were on the other foot, I hope this never happens, but the Democrats try to break it like that, I would relish the opportunity to be on the Senate floor for a couple straight days talking about, the important issues of the day, or why Albert Pujols is the greatest right-handed hitter of all time, whatever.
Give us a complete dissertation of Jordan Walker's absolute defeat of all the entire Philadelphia. Forget just Schwarber. It was incredible. Well, we are grateful for your time today. We appreciate your efforts. Make those senators go to work. We want to see it happen. We want to see the Save America Act. We want to see you continue to fight for Missourians and all of us in those other states that don't have great representation. Senator Schmitt, thank you.
Yep.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Annie. Okay. Bye-bye.
U.S. Senator representing Missouri on X at Eric_Schmitt. That's SCHMITT. No D, obviously. It should be an R. Schmirt.
Well, Newsom should have an E on the end.
It should. Why doesn't it?
Every time you write it, you go, this needs an E. I don't like this man.
Yeah, you look at it and you're like, there's something missing.
There's something wrong with this guy.
Intellect. Oh, the E on the end of his name. All right, let's take a quick break. The YouTube live chat poll. Do you support President Trump's efforts with Iran? Yes. No, or maybe you support it a little less than before or more than before. So give us your thoughts on the Annie Frey YouTube live chat poll. I'm so happy to be back with you. I hope you're happy to be back with us. We'll discuss the poll next on the Annie Frey Show. All right, Home Shield Foundation repair. You guys got some rain while I was gone? Did that happen?
Oh, my gosh.
Lots
Don't even
of
get
rain?
me started. Every single day I went to mow my grass. Oh, it's going to rain today. And at the time you're supposed to mow your grass.
Can I talk about Home Shield?
No.
We'll do lawn care grievances in the 2 o'clock hour with Ryan. For now, let's talk about Matt Hayes at Home Shield Foundation Repair. If you have been frustrated because the rain keeps coming down and you can't mow your grass, and also your basement is flooding, you need Matt Hayes at Home Shield Foundation Repair. And I'm really excited to tell you that if you contact Home Shield Foundation Repair today at 314-271-9900, they are now offering 24 months of 0% financing so that you can get your basement fixed up right away. Think about if you have a 0% financing for 2 years to get that basement fixed, and you're avoiding the potential significant extra trouble that you're going to have to go to if that water continues to degrade the foundation of your home. This is a phone call you need to make right now. 24 months, 0% financing at Home Shield Foundation Repair for your foundation needs. Reach out to them, 314-271-9900, 314-271-9900, or find them online at homeshieldfoundationrepairs.com.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Last year, more clients hired Morgan & Morgan than ever before. We now have more offices, more staff, and more lawyers than any other injury firm in the world, protecting America, fighting for you.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
When Donald Trump needs conservative votes to help pass his agenda for Missouri, Representative Trisha Burns never answers the call. Trisha Burns has missed 370 votes. Burns is bucking President Trump's priorities. Burns did not vote to stop DEI initiatives, prevent China from owning Missouri land, defund Planned Parenthood, and Burns did not vote to ban boys from girls' sports. Trisha Burns not showing up for Missouri and President Trump. Instead, Trisha Burns spends her time pulling pranks on the suicide prevention hotline. Yes, you heard that right. Trisha Burns lied to the police and staged a fake suicide emergency. She sent a series of messages to the hotline and said she, quote, had a gun to her head, end quote. When she got caught, she said there'd be no consequences because she's a politician. By August 4th, vote to show Trisha Burns that there are consequences to being bad at your job. Cut the Bull Pack paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidate committee.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how linking to the market is much safer than owning the market for your retirement savings. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go to retirementkey.com.
Hi, this is Steve Butts from the Crawford Butts Insurance Agency. In 2026, our agency celebrates a momentous occasion as we celebrate 65 years of service to our clients, a tribute to our founder and my dad, Nor Butts. Our staff is ready to assist you with all your insurance needs. So please call me, Steve Butts, at 314-752-2500 or at crawfordbutts.com. For auto, home, and commercial insurance needs, that's crawfordbutts.com.
Today's YouTube live chat poll at the beginning of the week here is, do you support President Trump's efforts with Iran? Yes, less than before, more than before, or no. So it's kind of a spectrum where you can tell us if you've moved on this issue too. It is 12:36. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
AC Tune-Up.
250 years of capitalism, private ownership, and rugged individualism. America 250 on 97.1 FM Talk. Sponsored by Paramount Men's Medical Center.
So are you as frustrated continuously as I am about the President Trump says they're begging for a deal. Maybe half of the Iranian leadership is begging for a deal. Like we talked about this earlier, maybe a month ago or so, that they've probably got their diplomatic people who are trying to negotiate things, but they've got random buttons scattered around the country that some psychopath can't help himself and he pushes the button, they missile somebody. President Trump says they're begging for a deal. I also intellectually understand that what the president says is not for me in the middle of the country or for you. It's part of his negotiation strategy. So when President Trump is out there characterizing Iran as begging for a deal, decimated, whatever, he's saying those things to help his negotiating position entirely. I really like to listen to what Rubio has to say on the whole deal, because I was thinking about this when I was preparing for the show today. Marco Rubio really does feel, when you have babysitters for children, babysitters have a level of authority, right? They have the ability to basically keep the kids alive and fed until mom and dad come back home again. And when mom and dad come home, they could say the same thing that the babysitter has been saying, but then the kids do it because it's mom and dad. Marco Rubio feels like, and I was like, that's the adult in the room. That's what happens when the adult enters the room. Marco Rubio, to me, in these negotiating processes with, the people who we have, maybe it's Witkoff, maybe it's Kushner, maybe it's other people who are involved in this, but dealing with these petulant children with Iran and their inability to acknowledge a good thing when they see it, that Marco Rubio comes in and says, listen, this is how it is. He doesn't have to say it with an emotionally charged tenor. He just has to say it because he's the adult in the room. And when he says it, that's the law. That's the authority on the issue. But he frequently says, listen, until Iran starts to change their behavior, we have to do what we have to do. Do we want diplomacy? Yeah. Do we want peace? Yes. But you can't just make it happen. As President Trump continues to say, it takes two to tango. And Iran is not serious about doing any of that. So, yes, we're going to keep the pedal to the metal. We're going to keep the pressure on. I have to constantly remind myself that what President Trump is saying in front of cameras and microphones is part of his negotiating strategy. The YouTube poll question for today, do you support President Trump's efforts with Iran? Yes. Less than before? More than before? Or no? I'm a yes. I trust him. I think he knows what he's doing. I think that the breadth of information that he has that explains how true of a threat Iran was and was pursuing to be, that he's doing the ballsy thing that administrations before were afraid to do, and he's doing it as a second-term president. He doesn't have to run for re-election. He can take this all the way and finally make Iran sit in the corner and think about what they've done for generations. And I am grateful for that. For the future of my family, my children, my grandchildren, I am grateful for it. I trust him. But I do have to remind myself that when he comes out and he's on the stage, at the press corps, whatever it might be, that what he's saying is a part of a strategy. It's not to appease me. He doesn't need to make Annie in Southern Illinois feel better about this. Not to win. Maybe to win an election in the midterms, maybe, but we're way so far away from that. This thing is going to go through the revolving door 100 more times before we spit out on the other side, finding out if we made it into the building or if we got spit back right out where we started. He needs to win in Iran. He needs to finish the job. And it feels to me like that's what he's doing. And I do trust him. Do you support President Trump's efforts with Iran?
Yeah, I'm just a yes on this also. And since we're talking about, has it moved? Is it less than before? Is it more than before? I'm going back to the very beginning of this campaign. And oddly, it's not a discussion I have with my wife very often. Like, what do you think about what's happening in Iran?
Let's talk about Middle East strategy.
Yeah, but I don't know how this came up. It was just like within the last week, which is really weird because she's been traveling too, so I haven't even seen her as much. But she said, do you remember at the beginning of this thing, which was what, April, something like that? She said, do you remember when, and she referenced a couple different people that through the grapevine that she and I both know who are Iranian in this area. She said, do you remember when this campaign started and they were so excited about it? And I said, no, I completely forgot about that. And it was true. It was all over socials that when you saw Iranians in America, and I think even some in Iran.
People in the streets.
They were very, very excited about
Jewish
this.
flags,
Yeah.
Israel flags, Iranian flags, same march.
And that, it just was a good reminder that, yes, we are focused pretty much just on gas prices and what does this mean for us. And that's fine. But it's also nice once in a while to just get that bigger scope and realize that there are a lot of people still in Iran that are praying for this, that don't want President Trump to relent at all. And he's not. President
Trump says, I've heard him say from his mouth exactly what you're saying. He goes, when the bombs stop, the Iranian people get nervous.
Yes. That's very true.
That is like I remember him saying that because I was like, what? But they don't want us to go, do the half pregnant thing. You can't do it.
Right.
You're either in or you're out. And once you're in, that's what you are. And to your exact point, that the Iranian people who want to be free from this murderous, psychotic regime that has had a stranglehold, not just on Iran, but the entire Middle East, because they are the state sponsor of terror, that when the bombs stop, they worry that we're not going to finish the job.
And yet we still haven't put a person on the ground there yet. I know we're talking about losing servicemen, so I don't want to lose sight of that either. But we're doing this basically from here and from different areas, and it's not affecting us personally other than through gas prices. And so all of that to say, all lumped together, I'm a yes on the poll.
When I have talked to some of my friends who have served over the course of the war on terror, they say that boots on the ground are necessary, which is interesting to me because I think that as a civilian myself, I think I hear about boots on the ground and I think don't do that anymore. But when I talk to those who were there, they want the job finished and they want it finished correctly. And they say, listen, that's completely anecdotal to people who I know who have served. But it's not a blanket statement one way or the other. Throw those boots on the ground or don't you dare put a single shoelace on Iranian soil. I mean, there's no way we're going to go in a minor incursion into Iran to take over the thing. That's not going to happen. But if you got to finish the job, I don't know. What do I know? I know nothing. Wiggins America. How have you been doing on Wiggins America? You mailing it in while I'm gone or just doing your best work?
Well, there was really only one Wiggins America while you were gone, and it was Friday, so it was Babylon Bee. So that was pretty easy.
Well, let's get to the wildest ride in the wilderness next here on the Monday Roundup. Wiggins America on the Annie Frey Show. The things you missed that you need to know next.
Hey, St. Louis, this is Brian Kilmeade. You know, I always have a great time when I visit you guys, and I'm coming back this November. So join me, Brian Kilmeade, by getting tickets for the show at The Factory at 971talk.com/events.
If you suffer from burning, tingling, or numb feet, pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Patton, D.C. Doctor, what is neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is nerve damage to the feet and legs.
What are the symptoms?
The symptoms are numbness, burning, tingling, pain, and loss of balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
It's absolutely treatable, and we have amazing results.
If you have burning, tingling, numbness, coldness in your feet or hands or balance issues, call us at Comprehensive Integrated Health today for a nerve damage screening. The screening will tell if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for our cutting-edge treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe nothing can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, and even amputations. The first 10 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Call 636-538-5188. That's 636-538-5188 for your free nerve damage screening. 636-538-5188.
You work hard, follow the rules, and get absolutely slammed by taxes. Your paycheck taxed, your property taxed, everything you buy taxed. Missouri's tax system isn't broken, it's rigged against you. The lawyers and lobbyists working for big corporations and the super rich buried over 200 loopholes for themselves in our tax code. While they pay nothing on the services they use, working families are taxed over and over. It's no wonder they're lying about Amendment 5. Our corrupt tax system is rigged in their favor. They're getting a free ride on your back. Don't believe their lies. The truth is, Amendment 5 closes loopholes exploited by the super rich and slashes taxes paid by Missouri's working families, phasing out income taxes and cutting property taxes. They finally pay what they owe while you keep what you earn. Vote yes on Amendment 5. Paid for by Missouri Promise PAC.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
Wiggins! Oh! Monday Roundup! Yeah! This here's the wildest ride in the wilderness!
I put Molly on the wildest ride in the wilderness.
Did you?
At Disney World, Big Thunder Mountain.
First timer?
No, I don't think she remembered the first time.
Oh.
Shh, if you're listening, Molly, that didn't happen. This was your first time.
Oh.
She was like, when you put a kid on a ride and you think, because she was wanting to ride rides this time, even if they were scary. But for whatever reason, this one was not. Oh, I know why. She had just asked to do Space Mountain, which is all in the dark. And
she did it?
Yeah, I didn't ride it.
Really?
Heck no, neither did Jared.
Oh my gosh.
We're like, Jensen, You got this one. She's 13.
Man.
But we put her on Big Thunder Mountain because we all wanted to ride. And, if she doesn't ride, somebody else has to sit off with her or whatever. And she's been doing all of them. And she loved them. We get, right up to where she sees the roller coaster. And she just is like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I don't. And I'm like, oh, my gosh. Okay.
Whoa.
So it was weird. So I took her down and I told her, I was like, you do not have to ride this ride if you don't want to. If you don't ride it, Mommy doesn't get to ride it. But I will not ride this ride if you don't want to ride this ride. And so then she kind of was like, okay, well, maybe. So we did the okay, well, maybe. Belt thing comes down, starts to move. She's like, I don't want to ride this ride. I'm like, sorry, sister, we're on it now.
Oh.
She, at the end, was okay with it. I don't know. We'll talk more about this later, but I don't know if I do the right thing. Well, I want to know your roller coaster.
Wait, though, was it smoother after the refurbish?
That was great. I don't know. I was looking at her the whole time. I got nauseous.
Space Mountain is rickety now.
I wouldn't know.
It is
I don't
hard
ride it
to
anymore.
ride that thing.
What do you got?
Anyway, you guys big Audacy fans? You really into the Audacy?
I downloaded the Audacy book because my son I think it was last year he had to read it. And so he was struggling reading it. It's a tough read, especially if you're not a reader. So we downloaded the audiobook version and listened to it because that's how I learn. And it was kind of a dramatic reading of it. So I kind of know the story, but the coverage of this movie is all over the place.
It's insane. They did a whole week on, I think, Jimmy Fallon's show. It was just Audacy week.
A lot of money in marketing these days.
And speaking of marketing, you can download the Audacy app and listen to us live.
You want to talk about the real Odysseus right here.
Should spell it differently.
Well, the headline is that Christopher Nolan's Audacy breaks a major box office record. And I'm like, oh, really? It must be in a big release. So I read, what is the record? Well, it was Christopher Nolan's personal best opening weekend for one of his movies that wasn't a sequel to one of his other movies.
One of the reasons why I quit sports talk radio and couldn't do it anymore is because you'd have to pull split stats that were like, how do the Cardinals do in day games on AstroTurf? And I'm like, who the heck cares? I don't care this much. Yahoo used to have some great stat splits.
Well, they did that to him, and I guess they wanted the headline because it was like, okay, I guess the movie's done well. I'm not saying it hasn't.
The headline is like blockbuster movie, and the fifth paragraph says on Tuesdays when it's a full moon.
That's right,
okay.
Yeah. Christopher Nolan's Audacy breaks major box office record. And it's just his record compared to his other movies that aren't sequels to his other movies.
It's good to be Christopher Nolan.
But anyway, it made $124 million in North American theaters, according to studio estimates released.
Do we know how much it cost to make it?
No, I don't know that. I could probably find that.
I'll
but
find it.
I don't know the answer offhand.
I'll do a little producing for you here.
Next one is the FBI has released some files dating back to the 1960s that reveal shocking details of a mysterious 4-foot-tall creature exiting a UFO. And these are from official FBI documents dating back to the 60s.
Say that one more time. Official FBI documents say what happened?
I'll just read the first sentence. Newly released FBI files have revealed shocking details of mysterious 4-foot-tall crewman exiting a UFO in the 1960s. No.
That sounds
well.
That sounds like the prequel to Ryan Wiggins on the radio.
You guys, I wasn't alive in the 60s.
I think if you made that movie, you'd break your previous movie record.
Yeah, right. Ryan Wiggins' debut movie breaks all records for Ryan Wiggins.
In a shocking twist of events.
It made Yahoo News.
I'd buy tickets to that for everybody.
And that's how I'd break a record. I'd sell a few.
Me.
Yeah. It says the
Jared,
documents
how many tickets can we afford?
Released on Friday as part of the Trump administration's UFO disclosure detailed how investigators reviewed reports that 1965 marked the year the greatest number of UFO sightings observed by multiple witnesses across the world. And the FBI summarized reports of metallic craft capable of hovering silently, reaching fantastic speeds, and interfering with electromagnetic equipment. And this is all from the 60s. Do you hear J.D.
Yeah, you know what else they were doing in the 60s?
What else were they doing in the 60s, Annie?
Drugs. Real quick, the estimated production budget for Nolan's Audacy, $250 million production budget, an additional $125 million spent on marketing.
So they've made back their marketing budget so far.
Now to pay the actors.
Yeah.
And the crew.
Yeah. Well, you know what? That'll probably get there just because it's such a big release. But still, shoo-wee, that's a lot of money. Anyway, back to the UFOs really quick. Did you happen to see J.D. Vance talking about this subject on Joe Rogan recently?
The demon thing?
Well, I didn't hear that part. I just saw this.
No,
stuff.
we could do a whole show on this.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, now I want to hear more of that.
Sorry, I only got 2 minutes.
Well, the little quote I was referencing was when he said, what if, because it's like he's the vice president of the United States.
Yeah.
He would have access to these things.
Some
And he
things,
goes,
not all things.
Yeah,
Even
not everything.
President Bill Pullman didn't know about Area 51.
Mm-hmm.
Plausible deniability.
We should probably get Bill Pullman on to just confirm.
Brad?
I'm on it.
Okay, thank you. But J.D. Vance did say that what if these are not anything that we've been talking about, but it is just us from the future coming back
Oh, I didn't hear that part either.
and visiting.
I got to stop listening to Joe Rogan through clips.
Yeah.
So do you.
Yeah, apparently. Let's see. Second Lady Yusha Vance.
Yusha?
Did I say Yusha? How about Usha?
How about Misha? Usha.
Sister. Second Lady Usha Vance gives birth to her fourth child.
Yeah. 4 is the magic number. Ryan. What a statement without words. Oh, man. That is, you just said,
You know what?
You just said what everybody's thinking.
We would be fine and happy with that. It would be a little
Mrs.
late,
Wiggins?
but we would celebrate
4
that.
is the magic number. Ryan Wiggins, and I quote.
Look, we would love that baby. And that baby would be very happy and also spoiled.
Oh, so spoiled.
Because
so spoiled.
Because he or she would be about 10 years younger than any of the other
Would you want a
kids.
boy or a girl?
I don't care.
How about more twins?
No. No. Although we could handle it a little better this time.
Yeah, because your kids will help.
Although, yeah, our kids would help.
I think we've decided for you and your wife.
We would not have a whole lot of energy, though.
You don't need it.
Yusha is 40 years old. Did you know that?
No. I know that Vice President Vance, well, I believe that he's about 30 days younger than me, which blows my mind that the vice president. It's like when you're watching college football and you realize these are children playing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then
Yeah.
you get to the age where we are, where it's like you would be considered a senior citizen if you played on a baseball team.
Oh, I'd be retired, I think. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Not many 60-year-old players out there.
Maybe Julio Franco made it to 44, which is where I am.
That's a good reference.
But I'm not sure.
I salute that.
Thank you very much.
Mhm.
First child born to a sitting vice president in more than 150 years. Isn't that cool?
Pretty cool.
That is cool.
Anything else? You got 30 seconds.
I would just like to take this opportunity to promote my book.
Babies. Have more babies. How to Have More Babies by Ryan Wiggins. It's a barn burner.
I'm not writing that book.
You should.
How to Have More Babies. It'll just be a picture book. Not of me.
Steve Moore. A personal walkthrough. Oh, Steve Moore is listening and changing his mind. He might be with us next. Don't go away.
Let's take a break.
Good idea.
Hey, Tom, what are you doing on that Amendment 4?
You know, we fought for our freedom and rights. I'm not giving them away without a fight.
4 takes them?
That's exactly what 4 does. For over 100 years, Missouri voters have used our constitutional power to act when the politicians refused. I'll be darned if I'm voting to pass on less freedom and power to my kids.
And doesn't 4 also kill majority rule?
Yup. Creates minority rule, where just 5% of the most liberal statewide voters in one Missouri congressional district that block any citizen-led reform, making it nearly impossible to pass common-sense conservative citizen ballot measures.
That's crazy town stuff.
And we've needed our citizen ballot measure power to pass some big conservative stuff, like outlawing tax hikes without voter approval, lobbyist reforms, and term limits for career politicians.
No way I'm letting a tiny fraction of liberals derail our conservative power. I've no on Amendment 4.
Hard no on 4.
Pay 4 buttons or inch per care governance.
License number GL2500615.
Hey, Dad, what causes drains to clog?
Grease, hair, soap scum, and tree roots.
Tree roots?
This town has old pipes and big trees. They find each other.
They grow inside pipes?
They bust into pipes.
Whoa.
Once they're in, the water stops flowing.
Can we fix it?
The big green grasser machine can fix any clog.
Green is always grasser at GrasserHomeservices.com.
If you're a business or brand that's still paying for ads people skip or ignore, that's cute. Try a new method of advertising your customers can't mute. Join our mobile movement so you don't get left in our dust, because stationary billboards are a bust. Big, bold, loud, and in-your-face advertising that doesn't wait for traffic. We drive through it, bringing your business or brand right to your customers' eyes. You can't delete it, you can't trash it or swipe right. Hell, you can't even ignore it. The answer? The moving billboards, baby. We circulate around any high-traffic venue, capturing people's attention when they're making decisions. Inside stadiums, big brands compete for attention, but outside the stadium, we own the street media. Because in a world that's went mobile, your advertising should too. Try moving billboards. They really work. PinkTiger.ai.
Have you heard those ads claiming Amendment 4 stops conservative amendments?
That's not true. It actually stops a couple big cities from pushing radical ideas into our Constitution. Remember 2024? Only 8 out of 114 counties voted to allow transgender surgeries on children.
That's terrifying. We can't let just a handful of counties rule the whole state.
Exactly. Amendment 4 requires broad statewide support and keeps foreign money out of our elections. Vote yes on 4 this August 4th.
You convinced me. I'm voting yes too.
Paid for by Freedom Principle MO, Missouri First PAC, Kate Sickles, Treasurer.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-777-7777.
That's 314-777-7777.
Fox News. President Trump says Iran will pay many times over every time they kill an American soldier. The White House also now confirming he will attend a dignified transfer tomorrow after several U.S. soldiers were killed since Friday, with the identities of 2 released so far.
The military identifying them today as 25-year-old First Lieutenant James Freehan of Hawaii and Isabella Gonzalez of Texas. She was just 19 years old. Video released by the AP appears to show that strike on Friday at the American base in Jordan. The military also listing another service member as missing after that strike, although human remains have been found. And a 4th service member died Saturday in Iraq while detonating a downed Iranian drone.
Fox's Alex Hogan at the White House. Iran keeps attacking Gulf neighbors despite daily U.S. attacks on Iran, though neither side is ruling out a deal. President Trump also just posting that the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu will not be arrested in any way, shape, or form while in the United States. This after the New York City mayor, Zoran Mamdani, floated the possibility of having Netanyahu arrested if he comes to New York for the UN General Assembly.
Last year on the campaign trail, Mamdani first vowed to pursue Netanyahu's arrest. And when speaking to The Times, Mamdani cited a 2024 International Criminal Court warrant issued for Netanyahu over alleged war crimes in Gaza, allegations that Israel has denied.
Fox's C.B. Cotton, Mamdani telling the New York Times the city is exploring legal issues. Netanyahu posting a defense of his leadership and Israel's actions and writing that Mamdani needs to focus on running New York City. A big business deal already approved by the Justice Department is now on hold. A federal judge just ordering Paramount and Warner Brothers to pause their merger for at least 2 weeks, allowing a multi-state challenge to play out in court. America is listening to Fox News.
If you haven't switched to Pure Talk because you're not sure their coverage is every bit as reliable as Big Wireless, why not take them for a test drive? For a limited time, Pure Talk is offering any of their plans for just $15 a month for the first 3 months, including their top-tier unlimited data plan. No contracts, no commitments, just a great deal on a high-speed network with unlimited data from an American wireless company. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and let the savings begin.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids Max Strength. Its dual-active formula has 1,500 milligrams of calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolaids spells powerful relief. 1,500 milligrams is our highest amount of antacid per tablet. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
Sunny skies, hot and humid, 95 late this afternoon. Tonight, clear skies. We'll hold in the 90s for evening plans. Very warm and humid, only 78 for the low. Tuesday, sunny, hot and humid, some late-day thunderstorms. Here comes a cool front, but not on Tuesday. 95 degrees Wednesday and Thursday, partly sunny, cooler and less humid. 86 Wednesday, and again on Thursday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist, Dave Murray.
The Annie Frey Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Air Comfort Service is celebrating 56 years of residential and commercial service, maintenance and installation, and heating and cooling systems. Get in your comfort zone. AirComfortService.com.
Annie Frey, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Ring.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
For the sake, Beth, keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio. I'm not.
You told J.D. Vance you're open, your vote is up for grabs.
Yes, my vote is in play because it can't be Trump running. So I'm not living in communist America. I mean, I know the talking point is that, well, it's not communism, it's socialism. Okay, I've read the quotes from the DSA platform, from their own mouths. Don't tell me I'm not seeing what I am seeing. And DSA, again, they say things like, you know, takeover of key industries, government. That's communism. You know, there is a definition.
By the way, Trump's doing that too.
Of course. Yes.
And to a degree that we haven't seen any other president, Democrat or Republican, do.
Great. That's crazy too.
He's got a piece of intel,
right?
A piece of the AI companies.
He treats everything like it's a real estate deal.
So there you have Bill Maher on ABC with Carl talking about the Democrat Party and the direction it's going on. Of course, they move into a little bit of a criticism there of President Trump, but I think that the question between an ABC host and Bill Maher about the presence of communism, democratic socialism in the Democrat Party is very ominous. Let's talk to somebody who knows a little bit about the perils of the communist influence on the Democrat Party. Steve Moore joins us once again, co-founder of the Committee for Prosperity and host of More Money. Welcome back, Steve. It's good to have you with us.
Hi, Annie. Good to be with you.
When you see where the Democrat Party is headed, is it too strong of an accusation to say that they are headed towards communism?
Well, you know, that is a strong term because I think almost everyone understands that communism was the greatest killer, maybe in mankind, you know, in terms of millions and millions and millions of people who died under communism in gruesome ways. And it's just an indication that power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. So, you know, there's a spectrum between, you know, full government political control of the economy, which was that they had essentially in the Soviet Union and North Korea and Cuba, and, you know, the, you know, paradise, which would be a free market system. No, even in the United States, we have elements of socialism. We have the government running the healthcare system. We have the government running too much of our economy, in my opinion, right now. But we are the most prosperous country in the world. And the thing that is very frustrating to me, Annie, is just that, you know, the lesson of the last 100 years is that the more you move in a communist socialist direction, the poorer you become. And by the way, the people who are hurt the most by that system are the people with the lowest incomes, which is ironic because they think it's a way to equalize incomes. It only equalizes income equally poor. Yeah. So, yeah, am I concerned about this? Yes, I am. I look at our great cities. I look at New York, run now by a Democrat socialist. I look at Seattle, run by a Democratic socialist. I look at Los Angeles. The two candidates who are running for mayor are both, you know, as I said before, Tweedledee and Tweedledum. They're both socialists. Chicago, my hometown. So it is extremely concerning. And Annie, the thing that maybe concerns me the most is that it's popular with young people. Yeah. Young people are the ones who are embracing this, maybe because they didn't live through the Iron Curtain and they didn't understand what happened in the second half of the 20th century with so many people who were, you know, killed and lived desperate lives because of the government takeover of the economy.
Steve Moore speaking with us right now, co-founder of the Committee for Prosperity, Committee to UnleashProsperity.com. I think it's so important what you just mentioned there is these young people. Steve, I'm 42 years old. I was born in 1984. My parents, my dad specifically, talked to me all about Ronald Reagan and everything that he did. But it is a history lesson for me. I don't have, a recollection or an understanding of it.
Right.
So to me, the best antidote to that is to have, right now with President Trump in office or whomever might take over after him, if it's a Republican, to prove the merits of a free market. Are you seeing any of that right now, that the implementation of the economic policies of this administration are proving the antidote to this socialist hope that some of these young people have?
Well, a couple of things about that. I mean, neither party is without guilt here. I mean, you have a lot of Republicans who want to, so I saw something the other day where some of the people in the Trump administration want to turn the Defense Department into essentially like an index fund or something where they invest in companies like Boeing. I think that's a bad idea. That's socialistic. So it's not one party or another. It's just that the Democrats have everyone they're electing now is like a Bernie Sanders candidate or an Elizabeth Warren candidate. And that is very frightening. I mean, look, I know you have people who are old, young, in the middle in terms of age. And the one thing I always tell you when I give lectures on college campuses is, look, freedom, think about this. We fought a revolutionary war. We fought a civil war. We fought 2 great world wars to preserve freedom. That's what these were all about, to be free. And you don't give up your freedoms. You're crazy if you're going to give your freedoms up to politicians. I don't care if they have an R or a D or an S or whatever it is next to their name. They are trying to take power and freedom away from you, your right to choose, and seize that power themselves. So please don't do that, folks. Your freedoms are your greatest asset.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that it is important to understand, like you said, it's not a party-specific thing. There is a problem, and that's affordability for people. The question is, how do we solve it? Bigger government or more power to the people? And I also think it's very important to understand that we've become a very consumeristic society. It is possible that people who are complaining about affordability are just mad that they can't afford their $12 coffees every day, that maybe there's some self-regulation that should be involved as well.
Well, look, the median income in the United States today, the people in the exact middle, is $87,000 a year. I mean, my God, in almost every other country in the world, that's rich, very rich to have $87,000. So, we measure ourselves versus others. And look, we have millionaires and billionaires in this country. It's a place where everyone can advance. It's the one country in the world where you can come literally with only the shirt on your back and become rich. And it's for the reason just about every immigrant, when they leave their home country, where do they want to come, Annie? They want to come to the United States of America, the land of the free, the Statue of Liberty. Folks, we have to maintain that. If we go socialist, then what happens? Where can people go to find freedom?
Yeah. You got to vote your way in, but you'll have to shoot your way out. That's what they keep saying about communism, of course. Steve Moore, we're thankful for you. We know your time is short with us, so we want to let you go. And we're always grateful that you spend some time with us on a Monday afternoon. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks, Annie. Have a great day.
You as well. Bye-bye. There are a lot of good economic signs. Inflation being down, of course, is one of them. But I do think that the affordability thing is something that is a bigger, broader conversation, specifically to the coffee thing. As you know, likely, I drink a Scooter's coffee every day. I have completely this summer negated my Scooter's coffee. I think that I went one time on a weekend, and I saw them, they're like, we didn't know if you were okay. And I told them, I was like, I just have to cut back on the coffee this summer, paying for kids' tuition, 2 in a Lutheran high school, 2 in a Lutheran grade school. And I just thought to myself, throughout the summer, when my schedule, it's still busy, but it's a different kind of busy, I'm just going to pull back on that and make some smart financial decisions for myself, for my family, and come up with a different solution so I don't have to pay the coffee every single day. And I think that is, when I look at the affordability concerns that people have, we just don't live in a society right now where we tell ourselves no for anything. You want it? In America, you can have it. And the problem is that you can have it on credit, you can have it on loan, you can have it in any which way. But then when those demons come back to get you, you owe the money, then you sit there and you think, oh gosh, Why is it so hard to live in America? And it's because we do have to have some self-regulation. You want to vote for socialists? They'll regulate everything for you. They will tell you everything you need to know about what you're going to get to have. And if you think that you want something and they determine that you don't need it, guess what? When they get to go the full length of the runway of what the Democratic Socialists today are setting up, I heard a clip. And I heard it on air. I don't know that I have it right now, but it was Martha McCallum. She was interviewing President of the Democratic Socialists of America or something like that. And he said, nobody deserves double returns on their investments. And she's like, what? You could just quantify that and say that in the United States of America, that there is too much profit, there's too much gain, there's too much success that you can have. Well, in a Democratic Socialist of America, yeah, absolutely. That's the whole point. They want to limit how far you can go, but they also have to seize those means in order to regulate that. We're careening off of a cliff in New York City, and I hope that everyone's not sitting idly by thinking that this isn't going to affect them down the road if we don't do something about it. But we got to sell a better idea. That's like the most American thing that we can do in the shadow of what's taking place in New York City, what's happened in Oregon, Steve Moore just said there happened in Chicago with this socialistic tendency that some of these big cities are having. They're experiencing some sort of pressure, maybe a little bit of struggle. Young people are finding it hard to afford things. You've got to marry the understanding of some things are unaffordable for you. I've had to do that myself. Some things are unaffordable to me. I have talked a lot about wanting to build a home. And if I'm going to position myself to build a home, and I've talked with some builders, I've got more builders lined up that I want to discuss, like how this works, because there's so many different ways to do it. It's overwhelming to me to consume just even the mechanisms with which one can build a home. Cost plus and all this type of different ways that you can go about it. But the truth of the matter is I have a lot of options. I have a lot of different avenues that I can go down to build this house. I know that with each and every one of those, I need to make sure my dollars are in order right now, which means I got to tell myself no. I got to tell my family, my husband and I have to look at our budget and say, you know what, I don't think we're going to do that today. There have to be some limitations because I'm not entitled to everything. Just because somebody else has it doesn't mean that I get to have it. I can earn it. I can save and sacrifice over here so that I can have nice things over there. I can make sure I prioritize a Lutheran education for my kids and know that my first dollars go to our mortgage. And then after we've paid those bills, they go to make sure my kids have the best education that they possibly can. These are things that we have to do, which means that there are other things that we don't get to do. Now, that doesn't negate economic policy and all the different ways you can, talk about the Fed and talk about Wall Street and talk about Main Street and talk about grocery prices and beef prices and all of gas prices. All of those things matter, but I don't really hear a whole lot of people talking about how we are a society right now that refuses to tell ourselves no. And if you are told no, you can't afford something, it's somebody else's fault. I think a lot of people listening, I was going to say all of us listening, I don't know that it's all of us, but a lot of us know what it's like to work multiple jobs to make ends meet or to work multiple jobs so that you can have an expensive hobby. But you got to work for it. It doesn't just happen to you. And when you see somebody else enjoying the fruits of their labor, you can't feel envious in a prosecutory way towards that person and think, they shouldn't have it because I don't have it. That's not America, folks. It's not America. Affordability, yes, an issue. Inflation, yes, an issue. Our national debt, yes, an issue. But make sure that you're taking care of your own space at the same time that you're worrying about all the other things. And I have a feeling that the majority of you listening right now already know all of that. Let's take a break. Get Ryan back in the studio with us. The YouTube poll, we'll take some of your text messages on the Annie Frey Show text line when we return, 314-241-9797. Do you support President Trump's efforts with Iran? Yes, less than before, more than before, or no? 314-241-9797. We'll be right back. The Retirement Advisory Group, we're doing another event, and I'm very excited to be there. I hope you'll join us. It's going to be Tuesday, August 11th. 6:30 p.m. I love to fill this room with Annie Frey Show listeners. I hope that you will come and sit down and listen for his free session at the DoubleTree in Chesterfield. Tuesday, August 11th at 6:30 p.m., DoubleTree in Chesterfield, to learn about how to get that transitionary period locked in to your retirement. When you're in your late 50s, especially if you're 59 and a half or older, when half birthdays start to really mean something once again, you need to make some smart moves. And the Retirement Advisory Group, Bob and Tammy Kershaw, they know exactly what to do. They are the nicest, kindest people. This is a free event, and I'll be there. And I would love for the opportunity to meet you before the event starts. Turn it over to the Kershaw so that you can get answers to how you can afford a worry-free retirement. They've got the answers. It's a free event. There are snacks. 314-993-9494. 314-993-9494. Reserve your spot. Bring a friend. Please come see me. RetirementKey.com.
For State Senate, I like Mike. Mike Deering knows what a hard day's work looks like because he's done it his whole life.
I like Mike. He's a dad. He knows what our families are up against.
Mike Deering's a businessman. He knows what red tape actually costs.
I like Mike because Mike Deering stands with President Trump. Secure the border. Cut our taxes. Put Missouri first.
I'm Mike Deering. Career politicians spend more and tax more while your family gets squeezed. I'll lower your taxes, keep your money in your pockets, and cut government waste so deep it'll make the politicians squeal.
Mike Deering, farmer, small business owner, dad, conservative. I like Mike.
I like Mike.
I like Mike.
For State Senate, I like Mike. Mike Deering. On Tuesday, August 4th, vote Republican Mike Deering for State Senate.
Make common sense conservative leadership common again.
Paid for by friends of Mike Deering. Megan Kaiser, Treasurer.
Don't let tax refund worries hold you back. File now with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They'll find every credit and deduction to help you get every refund dollar you deserve, or your money back. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
Annie Frey is St. Louis conservative.
It annoys me when a Beyonce like this makes a country album because she can. And I mean, honestly, the words to this song, Texas Hold'em, are a little offensive to country culture as I know it, but at the same time, it's a super catchy song.
What I remember talking about this when it came out. What about it was offensive about Texas Hold'em? I don't remember. Was there something lyrically?
No, there was a whole movement of this bothers me so much. Didn't have this on the show sheet today to talk about Beyonce's country album, but it was presented. The album was presented to society as, darn right, I can make a country album. Nobody can tell me I can't.
Yeah. I remember that.
And I felt like country fans were like, okay.
I agree. I totally agree with that.
Like it was the marketing behind it was, we're going to put a country album out no matter what anyone says. But that was how they got people to talk about it.
Yes.
And then the song comes out and it's catchy. It seems to me like a pop song that you put out that might get some country play. I don't mind it, but she cusses a lot in it.
Oh, she does.
But there's also country, I mean, I've heard other country. Morgan Wallen throws around some language that gets him the E on the, I think. So I don't know. It's just like, if you like that song, it's a statement. Can I just like a song? Can I also just, if I don't care about the rest of her country album, can that not label me?
That's what's funny. I do remember the marketing of that. And she's not the only one that has used that style of marketing. I want to make that clear.
Controversy out the gate.
It was, they told us it couldn't be done.
Yeah.
Yet here we are. Can you believe it? And everybody just shrugged.
There's an ad that's out there right now, and I don't think that they pay money for their station directly, but who knows? I don't know. But they start their ad with, I want to offer you an apology. And then they're like, we have done awesome things, but we should have done them sooner. I'm sorry. And I'm like, I don't forgive you for the commercial. I might buy your product. I might not. But don't faux apology me.
Oh, then you're not buying Domino's pizza. Remember that whole campaign?
No.
Oh, man, this was about 10 years ago. They came out and said, look, we know our pizza sucks.
Yeah, I do kind of remember that.
Remember this? And
I
they're
like their pizza.
But we're fixing it. It was this huge campaign, and they did a good job. It stuck with me enough that now, even when I get Domino's now, a decade later, I'm like, hey, wait a minute. This is probably their new style of pizza. Not realizing, oh, I'm just playing into the ad.
Yeah, it's a strategy. Maybe we should try that for our show. Will you make an ad like that for our show?
Everybody said Annie Frey'd never be on the radio.
Shut up. No.
She doesn't belong here. She's a girl.
We apologize. We know,
okay.
We know this show sucks sometimes. But we're here.
We do that every day.
Let's make it an ad.
At about 2:30.
We're
There's
like,
somewhere we go.
Guys, sorry.
You know what?
We're really like a 2.5-hour show, but they won't let us leave till 3.
That's right. And we really promote Mark Reardon is next.
For 30 minutes.
Yeah.
We're like, we know you want to go away, but please don't. Mark,
Don't.
Mark is paying me $7 to tell you that you should stay.
You're going to get some great radio here soon.
All good things to those who wait.
A texter at 314-241-9797 just texted in. We had Domino's yesterday. It was delicious.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Well, Domino's apologizes for the prior crappy pizza.
They did, and it worked. It totally worked.
We at the high school I went, you would have like Mondays would be pizza day. Wednesdays were, I think, Taco Bell day. We could talk about that later. And Friday was Blimpie subs.
Ooh, Blimpie.
But you could pay for them in first hour. You would sign up for food. And then they'd have someone go out and order it. And then if you signed up and ordered it.
That's a great system.
Fundraiser for prom. So you charged, like, I think maybe then $1 a taco or something like that. The tacos, they got a good deal on them because it was a fundraiser. So every Wednesday, Metro East Lutheran High School was ordering hundreds of tacos from Taco Bell. Everybody wins. It's the middle day, whatever. But it was always Domino's pizza. And, I mean, it's just pizza. At that time, it was just a piece of pizza.
Yeah.
It was sausage pizza or pepperoni pizza, whatever. And I never had a problem with it. Sometimes you just want a piece of pizza.
Oh, yeah. That's the thing, too, is that
Is it fancy
I
now?
always just thought Domino's was just like a 5. Like they were the 5 out of 10.
But reliably.
But fine. Yeah, I had no problem with
Yeah.
it. And then when they came out and said, we know we suck, I was like, oh, we do?
Don't take an aggressive, risk here and go the opposite direction from a 5.
But I think that what they were trying to do was make everybody know we are completely changing. We want you to try it.
Yeah.
And
Something
that
new here
worked.
worth a shot.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you were wanting something better than a 5, it might be a 7 now.
Exactly. Yeah. Like they weren't saying, hey, we're the best, but they're saying we're definitely improving.
What is old reliable pizza place for you guys? Like, what is the Wiggins family go to if you're like, yes, we just want pizza?
That is Little Caesars now for sure.
Really?
Oh yeah. Yeah. And we get Little Caesars probably once every, I'd say 3 out of 4 Friday nights, in a month.
Brad?
Joe's Pizza.
That's the go-to?
Yeah.
Joe's Pizza's great.
We usually have pizza.
Joe's is, let's go to Joe's.
That's not the average pizza though.
No.
That's a step up.
Yeah,
We're not feeding 6 people.
No. We're feeding 2. This past Friday it was 3, but every Friday night after kickboxing we go to Joe's Pizza there in Collinsville and
Where's
get a
Joe's in
slice.
Collinsville?
Where's kickboxing?
Kickboxing is at Maryville Muay Thai in it's kind of the intersection of 70 and
It's part of the
159.
regimen.
Yeah, I mean, you just go to
Kickboxing,
you get your
deep
pizza.
dish.
And then Joe's Pizza's off of, I don't know the name of the road, but it's over by where Emo's
Yeah, it's
is.
Beltline.
Yeah, so.
Where? Is it by Taco Bell?
Yeah,
right
behind
there.
it.
Everything's by a Taco Bell.
Everything's by it. Well, there's 2 Taco Bells.
We're a Papa John's family. Go like if it's like let's just get pizza because it's affordable, it's easy to go get. The carry out is cheap, and it's like a 1 topping whatever. But Joe's Pizza, I'm telling you, if you want Chicago deep dish, are they giving me anything for saying this? Are they paying Brad at all for saying this? No, it's just that good. If you want Chicago style pizza in Southern Illinois, go to Joe's Pizza. Send us some pizza.
Yeah, listen, Joe.
Send us some pizza
Send
on
us some
Friday.
pizza in the mail.
Yeah.
We'll still eat it.
Just send it like at 2 days delivery or less.
Well, whatever, because I promise you, and I can tell you by example. I lead by example, as you know, that my brother's wedding was last weekend.
Did you talk about that?
A little bit.
Okay.
I officiated it.
I know.
So,
I want to know how well you did. I'll put it that way.
do you want to know what really happened?
I want to know, but I want to know in the 2 o'clock. Can we talk about it in the 2 o'clock hour?
Oh, yeah, because
lots of
there's
questions.
a story that you may have missed. But I'm still eating my brother's leftovers from that wedding.
I believe that.
I had
on
it,
brand.
yeah, and it's a week and a half.
Is that how he paid the officiant?
I guess.
That love and affection.
It is a lot of pulled pork.
All right, let's take a quick break here. When we come back, Victoria Coates will be with us, Vice President of Heritage Foundations, Catherine and Shelby Cullum Davis Institute for National Security and Foreign Policy, also former Deputy National Security Advisor for President Donald Trump. Victoria Coates on the current status of the Iran war, the lives lost, and the mission forward. Victoria Coates next. HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com now with 24 months of 0% financing at HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com. If your basement is taking on water, if there are leaks, if there are cracks, you have to get with Home Shield Foundation Repair and let them earn your business. That's what I can say about good people who I trust to come to your home. Doesn't cost you anything to have them look at your situation and say, this is what you need to do. And when you meet Matt Hayes, you meet his team, you'll immediately know, like, okay, I get it. I understand why Annie wants me to use this business because he's a great guy. And they have a great business going on here, a locally owned business and foundation repair. Home Shield Foundation Repair and Matt Hayes wants to bring their family-oriented service to your home, to your foundation, to your wet basement, and give you a solution that they will put a lifetime warranty on. They are going to stand behind their work, and they're going to do great work. And they are now offering 24 months of 0% financing. Sorry, Matt, I almost screwed that up big time. 314-271-9900, 314-271-9900. Call them and talk to them about that financing option available to you. HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
The radical left let crime and drugs pour into our nation, and they let biological men into girls' sports. But here in Missouri, if there's a problem, we fix it. That's why Ann Wagner's fixing the mess the radical left made and delivering for us. Wagner voted to ban biological men from competing in girls' sports. And she voted to fund the police and provide more resources for Border Patrol agents, keeping our families, communities, and children safe. And Ann Wagner didn't stop there. In Congress, Wagner passed the largest working-class tax cut in American history, kept big government out of our business, protected our way of life, and ensured our communities remain safe. That's why Ann Wagner's endorsed by the Missouri Farm Bureau and Missouri Fraternal Order of Police. Vote Ann Wagner for Congress on August 4th.
I'm Ann Wagner, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Ann Wagner for Congress.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Mark?
I've been doing home remodeling for 30 plus years, but the economy crashed. I wound up losing my home, losing my job, and on top of that, owing the IRS a ton of money. I owed the IRS $114,000. It really, truly was the worst part of my life.
Then Mark found tax relief advocates.
On news radio, I heard about TRA, and I thought, what's the worst that could happen? So I picked up the phone and I called them. When it was all said and done, TRA settled my $114,000 debt for $100, and I'm telling you, I was ecstatic. Could not believe it. Would recommend TRA to anyone.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Mark did and call TRA for a consultation.
But TRA did. They gave me a second chance, and I'm forever grateful.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-491-9914. 800-491-9914. That's 800-491-9914.
The YouTube live chat poll today is, do you support President Trump's efforts with Iran? We talked about trust but verify in the first segment of the show. The options here are yes, less than before, more than before, or no. Here's somebody on the text line, though, that says, I trust Trump unequivocally because he has the information that you and I, most everyone else, will not be seeing in our lifetimes. He knows what he's doing. Let us know what you think about this topic of Iran and President Trump and what decisions are being made right now. It is 1:32. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Happy birthday, America, in 2026. Get used to hearing the word semi-quincentennial. America 250 on 97.1 FM Talk. Sponsored by Paramount Men's Medical Center.
To be open, free of tolls, free of attack, free of all the things they're doing against these ships. So you can't have an MOU that's alive if they're violating the terms of it. What I will say is that the United States always remains open to a diplomatic solution. We've tried multiple times with Iran, and we'll continue to try. If that door opens, we'll be happy to see it open. But and they continue to send signals that they want to talk, that they want to negotiate. But their behavior is what we're responding to. And their behavior is they're launching missiles and drones against ships, including tonight.
So there you have Marco Rubio, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, talking about the diplomatic pursuit to try to calm things in Iran. But you can't do that if they don't want to play. President Trump repeatedly says it takes two to tango. Now we have more American lives lost in this conflict. And as I said at the beginning of the show, it's important to constantly question, are we moving in the right direction? Is this still a worthy cause? And I would say, yes, it absolutely is. But it, of course, does not come at no cost to the lives lost, as we have found more this weekend. Let's get to an expert on the subject. Victoria Coates joins us, the Vice President of Heritage Foundation's Catherine and Shelby Cullum Davis Institute for National Security and Foreign Policy, also the former Deputy National Security Advisor to President Donald Trump. Victoria, it's great to have you on the show with us. Thank you for your time this afternoon.
Thank you, Annie. Good to talk to you.
You as well. I want to give you the opportunity to speak first and foremost with the pursuit that this administration is trying to, of course, denuclearize Iran. And also, it seems as though a secondary and important point is to reopen and keep open the Strait of Hormuz. It has cost more American lives. Can you speak to that loss that we've experienced and what these individuals, what their lives lost are an investment in?
Yes, I mean, this is obviously a very terrible event, and everybody at Heritage is praying for the families of our fallen heroes. And I understand the president will be going down to Dover to witness the dignified transfer, which is one of the hardest duties a president could have, to welcome home those fallen heroes. So it's a somber day, but at the same time, we're learning more and more about the Iranians and what they're capable of. Important to note that the facility the Iranians fired on were the barracks where our soldiers sleep. So it's not exactly like they attacked a military formation. They attacked a dormitory. And that tells you what you need to know about them. And I think you're absolutely right. The denuclearization of Iran, as the president has very clearly laid it out, is what he would not tolerate. And we've been kind of playing this game for 47 years, and he finally said he was going to do something about it. And he really started at the end of the first term with the eradication of Qasem Soleimani, followed up with Midnight Hammer, and then Epic Fury, and the return to combat operations now. And, he has not gone into this, willy-nilly. He didn't do a sort of shock and awe kind of first strike. He's been trying to give the Iranians a diplomatic option, and they haven't taken it. And so he's gone back to what has had an effect on them before, which are these sustained, very targeted, very effective military strikes.
Victoria Coates speaking with us right now. I'd like to really widen the lens as much as we possibly can on what's taking place in the Middle East, with the focus clearly set on Iran and their past, their present, but also the future. I can't help but notice all of the lead up, the policy changes that this administration has made, specifically in this term, but also pulling from his first term, President Trump's first term in office, that he's really recalibrating the way the Middle East functions, whether they function out of the idea of strength and hope for a prosperous future, or maybe just out of fear because of the way that the Middle East has been managed for so long, with terrorism being such an important part of influence in the way these countries navigate their daily lives, but also our relationship with them. How much is President Trump's foreign policy affecting the way the world understands that region and the way they work within themselves?
Oh, it's completely transformative. And there are a whole bunch of things going on that our mainstream media friends will not talk about because they're actually good news stories. I met today midday with President Joseph Aoun of Lebanon, who's in town for a historic meeting with the president tomorrow in the Oval Office, because President Aoun, has engaged in the first direct talks between the United States, Israel, and Lebanon in a generation. And we may be getting close to a Lebanon deal. And Lebanon, for the first time in my memory, is less of a just total basket case. Aoun is a strong president. He's building the Lebanese armed forces as a just good institution for the Lebanese people, and he's taking strong action against Hezbollah as he can. So that's one thing that has changed. And so Lebanon is no longer functioning as just an extension of Iran, which is essentially what it had been. Same thing in Syria. Bashar al-Assad was a close partner to Iran in Syria, spent his time attacking Israel, being very, very aggressive against his own people. He now has been replaced by President al-Shah, who is maybe not George Washington, but at the same time is helping Lebanon interdict arms shipments from Iran to Hezbollah. So that's positive. And finally, we had the visit of the Prime Minister of Iraq last week, who, for the first time that I can remember, came first to Washington rather than going to Iran. And what did he do while he was here? He signed deals with Exxon and Chevron, taking oil fields away from Lukoil, from the Russian company, and putting them in the hands of American industry. That is just very much clearly showing where his interests lie. And so as he begins to take action against Iranian elements in Iraq, this is really transformative. And suddenly we have not only our Gulf partners and allies, Israel, countries like Egypt and Jordan, but then Lebanon, Syria, and Iraq, which have obviously given us headaches for decades, suddenly becoming much, much more constructive and much more aligned with the United States.
So Victoria Coates speaking with us right now with Heritage Foundation, also former Deputy National Security Advisor to President Donald Trump. This entire strategy that has been led by President Trump's administration and really fortified, I think, by Secretary of State Marco Rubio has been incredible to watch. I'm a huge fan of his and have been for a long time. I think he's just so perfectly aligned with the mission right now. I'm wondering, does everything, all the reshaping of what's going on there, all the progress and success that has been had so far, even though we're not done with the mission, is this just one big fragile situation where America, Trump, Rubio, our military strength is holding it together right now, and the second that maybe their hands would come off, they're not going to be there forever, does the whole thing fall apart? Or is this transformative enough as it is right now that post Donald Trump's administration, his fingerprints will be on this, and there will be a new hope for success and less violence and less, war in the Middle East in the future?
Oh, I think what we're going to have to do, Annie, is follow the money, because that's what can give us our best predictors. And so those deals I was just talking about with Iraq going from Lukoil to Chevron and Exxon, that's real hard to unwind once you start those $1 billion in investments and long-term contracts. And there are other movements like that. We've seen Qatar, for example, in March, start exports out of Golden Pass, Texas. So Qatar is exporting natural gas out of Texas now, where they have 70% of that export facility. Exxon has 30%. And that's the reason you're not hearing howls of rage from Doha right now after Iran damaged their mutual gas field in the Persian Gulf, because all of that product is being made up by Texas. So if you're Japan and you're getting a shipment of Qatari natural gas, that natural gas comes from Texas. So, people can have their views on the Qataris, but that's Qatar saying we are investing where we think our future is, and that's the United States. And that's far from the only such investment. It's just a good illustrative one that the region really is putting its money where its mouth is, that is behind the United States and, by the way, behind Israel. And I think you're going to see some very interesting things with cooperation on natural gas with Israel, with its assets in the Eastern Mediterranean. And then, of course, everybody's desperate for Israeli high tech in the region. So they're sort of finding various ways they can warm up those relationships. Important to note, the Abraham Accords signed in 2020 are still holding, are actually thriving at this point. And so that's a really good example to the rest of the region of the benefits that await them if they line up with the United States and Israel.
Victoria Coates speaking with us right now with the Heritage Foundation. I am, seeing the president say that they've decimated Iran, their military strategy, certainly their nuclear program, and he champions the success that is there. They're still firing upon people who are within, distance shot of the missiles that they have. They've been able to target some United States bases as well. And I think to myself, okay, maybe Iran can continue to do this for an amount of time, but they probably can't sustain this type of behavior forever. And the one thing that I truly do fear is that there is another party, a much bigger and stronger party, that decides that either they need to support Iran for, assets, maybe oil, or that they consider the United States to be big enough of an enemy that they decide to throw their strength and weight behind the side of Iran. And I don't know anything. I've been on vacation, but I did stop to watch President Trump's speech last Thursday night, his address to the nation. And for a president who has been very flattering towards President Xi of China, many times seems to say, I respect that he is China first. I am America first. And he expects President Xi to do what is best for China. The China interest in Iran's success or failure, I think, is of great import to the American mission here. Do you feel as though there's any sort of partnership or anything with any other nation, specifically China as well, that Iran might tap into to completely change the course of this conflict going forward?
I certainly think Iran would like to. And in 2021, one of the first things that happened after Biden came into office is Iran and China inked a long-term deal, which was supposed to be hundreds of billions of dollars worth of investment, a lot of strategic partnership talk, that kind of thing. A lot of that money hasn't materialized, but a lot of Iranian oil sales to China have. And so it's like Venezuela and like Russia has been a kind of beholden cheap gas station for China. But China doesn't like these kinds of entanglements with sort of failing propositions. So I think they're definitely being a nuisance. I think they are supplying the Iranians with much better intelligence and satellite imagery than they would otherwise be able to get their hands on. And that is a problem. I'm not happy about it in any way. But they've really been pretty muted in their response. And bear in mind, China does not yet have the ability to project power around the world the way the United States does. I mean, they're completely dependent on us for getting oil out of the Gulf. They're not sending ships. They're not trying, they're not doing anything, and they need that energy. They couldn't do what we did in Venezuela, for example. And so they can't do that much right now. And I'm sort of getting the feeling that they see the Iranian regime as like a bad debt. They're sort of writing it off. They'll get what they can out of it at the fire sale, but the country is failing. I mean, make no mistake about it. They've got over 30% unemployment, over 70% inflation. The real, which was worth 30,000, or there were 30,000 real to the dollar 10 years ago, it's now 2 million. It just can't go on. So, I think they maybe can scrabble, for a little while, but it's pretty limited, and I don't see China wanting to hold that bag. It doesn't smell pretty good.
Sure. Victoria Coates speaking with us. Last question before we let you go. We're grateful for your time this afternoon. Is there a clear understanding of what success looks like, the outcome that this administration is looking for? Because it does feel like what success looks like will have to be monitored and kept up by either the United States or those people who are maybe geographically more closely located to Iran, as just to keep an eye on them, a side eye constantly. Is there a clear understanding of what success would look like at the end of this?
Oh, I think so. And I think you're putting your finger on it, that for starters, we have, as much of an assurance as is humanly possible that the nuclear program has been disabled and they will not have a nuclear weapon. And we have the means to watch them and verify that. That's the bottom line. The Strait of Hormuz is open so that international energy markets aren't roiled. And then I think maybe most importantly, that's a little bit different from those 2 points, is that Iran cannot project power beyond its borders. And so this means no more Hamas, no more Hezbollah, that Houthis go their own way and they don't shell their neighbors. So you have to degrade all those capabilities. Now, nothing would make me happier than if all of that results in better leadership in Tehran. And I would like to see a kind of a Gorbachev-like process in the Soviet Union that doesn't result in a Putin, that maybe we were more supportive of helping them rebuild those institutions. There's more of a historic memory of a free system in Iran. They have a good constitution, actually, from 1912 that can be easily modernized. So I think that would not be a huge heavy lift, but would have to keep an eye on it. But that would be more of an orderly transition than a chaotic revolution. I think that would be better for the country. And then I think we could be in a much better place.
Okay. Well, it's good to know that there is that clear understanding, and we look forward to seeing the president continue to finish the job as well. Victoria Coates, it's an honor to have you on the show with us. Thank you for giving our listeners some of your time this afternoon.
Absolutely a pleasure. Thank you, Annie.
All right, take care. Bye-bye. She is former Deputy National Security Advisor to President Donald Trump and the Vice President of Heritage Foundation's Catherine and Shelby Cullum Davis Institute for National Security and Foreign Policy. We'll break here. When we come back, we're asking you, do you support President Trump's efforts with Iran? Yes, less than before, more than before, or no, you don't support them. You can go vote at youtube.com/@AnnieFrey, Frey, and text us your thoughts. Ryan will read them at 314-241-9797. Back in a minute. AirComfortService.com. Gosh, it's been hot outside. I hope your AC is doing its job. I hope it is managing the comfort zone in your home as well as in your office, wherever you have that AC cranking, and keeping you cool and comfortable through this ridiculous heat wave. If you have a problem with it and you're kind of thinking, gosh, it's time, you've maybe had it fixed before and you think it's going to be time to replace it. We had to have ours replaced a few years ago from Air Comfort Service. You can get a quote online by going to aircomfortservice.com. Click on Get a Quote, enter some basic info about your home, and you're going to get a few options with a ballpark cost of what that new AC unit will cost. This is a ballpark. Every home's different. But you can get your firm quote at 314-513-0091. That's 314-513-0091. You can find them online at aircomfortservice.com.
It's happening now.
Americans were blatantly lied to about the security of our election.
The most severe vulnerabilities our system had, it gets hacked, and then they don't tell any of us.
97.1 FM Talk.
Mark Cox here. Join me, Annie Frey, and Mark Reardon, along with Bob and Tammy Kershaw of the Retirement Advisory Group, to learn how to create your worry-free retirement. We'll meet August 11th at the DoubleTree Hotel in Chesterfield at 6:30. Here are Bob and Tammy with more.
Are you nearing retirement or already retired and wondering how to turn your 401k and IRA into a worry-free retirement? Would you like to learn the strategies that give you market growth but protects you from market losses at the same time?
Would you like to get a free personalized retirement income plan? And did you also know if you're 59 and a half or older, you can roll over your company retirement plan tax-free to create a worry-free retirement? If you're 59 and a half or older, you cannot afford to miss this event.
Have a worry-free retirement. Join the official financial advisors of my show, Bob and Tammy Kershaw, at the DoubleTree Hotel in Chesterfield, Tuesday, August 11th at 6:30. Go to retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
The Annie Frey Show is St. Louis conservative.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Victoria Coates just on with us. You can hear that on the Annie Frey Show podcast. As soon as we get that uploaded for you, we would love for you to check out the Annie Frey Show podcast, wherever you get your podcast from. You can also rewatch the interviews, re-listen to them on the Annie Frey YouTube channel. The YouTube poll for today, do you support President Trump's efforts with Iran? Yes or no? Or maybe it's a little less than you used to, or maybe a little bit more than you used to. You can text us as well at 314-241-9797. Yes, about the poll question, but the dirty little secret is you can text Ryan Wiggins at that number because he's the one who reads them about anything at any time.
Oh, yeah, that's a nasty secret.
I don't want to know that from your
You
mouth.
said dirty little secret.
I didn't say it like that.
I took it one step further like I do. It's what I get paid to do.
It's usually 10 steps further, and it's weird that that's how you interpret your contract.
So, with Ryan being on vacation, I've had to monitor that Twitter or that text line.
All right, so that text line in response to the YouTube live chat poll says Democrats and Republicans both know Iran has to get dealt with. The problem is nobody's had the spine to do it up until President Donald Trump. Another one says, Annie and Manny's. I am 100% behind President Trump for Iran. Some Americans and the mainstream media have short-term memory and don't bother to look at the historical record of how we got here from 47 years ago and what occurred in between. And then one right after that says, President Trump knows what he's doing, period.
He does.
And then right before that, it's a shame Cecil Whitaker's pizza is overlooked.
Whitaker's Pizza. Well, they should send us some pizza, and we can
we can look at it very, very seriously.
I'm going to be honest. If you send us food, we'll review it.
We will definitely take a look at it for sure.
We got to know for sure that it's not like a... Is there anybody who should be more mad today than Taylor Farms?
Wait, what is this?
Lettuce. Taylor Farms, the lettuce is not... The FDA came out there like, oh...
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that.
This?
No.
No, it's not them. It was a false positive. We don't know nothing about where the poop is coming from.
So there is a bug, but it's not... They
No,
don't
it's
know
not
where it came from.
It's a parasite.
A parasite, whatever, okay.
No, you don't whatever parasites.
Yes, you do. You whatever. If something's giving you the poops.
I am more afraid of explosive diarrhea from food than I was COVID.
Are you more afraid of explosives or explosive diarrhea?
Explosive diarrhea. I do not have that house capacity for my family to go eat a meal that's like somebody's going to have to go somewhere or it's going to be outside.
I don't like that my wife and daughter now are like, oh, there's something in the news. Now we can't eat any salad. And I'm like,
I told
stop.
my family no fruits and vegetables for 2 weeks.
You're doing the same thing.
Yeah, it's because it is terrifying.
I was at a wedding that had big salad bowls and they wouldn't eat it. And I'm like, why? And they're like, because of poops.
You get the poops. Yes, the FDA came out. Like, good grief. I can't even imagine what Taylor Farms is, the rage that they have right now. Let's see here. This is the latest from the USDA. I got to start from the top. Taylor Farms at your Taylor Farms on X says, today, FDA apologized to us. Yesterday, FDA informed Taylor Fresh Foods that one of its iceberg lettuce products from central Mexico had a, quote, confirmed positive test for Cyclospora. Today, this is how I assume that they were writing it. This is the inflection. Just a little dramatic inference. Today, we were informed the FDA made a mistake. And this was a false positive. To be clear, at this moment, FDA has not identified a single positive product test result for Cyclospora. Acting on initial information provided by health officials in an abundance of caution, we completed a voluntary recall of iceberg lettuce from central Mexico. Recalled product was limited to iceberg lettuce grown and processed in central Mexico. This is in bold, so you know that they mean business. All other Taylor Farm products, including Taylor Farm brand products, are not involved in the recall. Our thoughts remain with everyone who has fallen ill in this outbreak. We are committed to working with public health authorities as the ongoing outbreak investigation continues.
They don't need to say that last part.
They should have said thank you for your attention to the matter.
Yes, they should have.
They would have gotten the MAGA people on their side.
I don't like it when you say Taylor Farms. Because
I'm
there's
sorry.
something about it.
Taylor Farms doesn't like it when the FDA says Taylor Farms. Can you imagine? I mean, is there a lawsuit pending here? Because who's buying Taylor Farm stuff now?
I guess I will be because they're fine.
Out of support?
Well, I just don't like it because it sounds like Taylor Swift and Prairie Farms put together, and it's something else.
Sounds like you have an issue.
I do have an
with
issue.
either Taylor Swift or Prairie Farms. You'll have to stay tuned to find out which. Coming up here after the break, and I'm going to ask Ryan all about officiating his brother's wedding. I know nothing about it, so we're going to all find out together next. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
If this is the year you're going to upgrade your backyard, call Chesterfield Fence and Deck. It's Mark Cox here. ChesterfieldFence.com is the easy website for you to get to. You go there, they're going to give you a free in-home estimate. They're going to give you free project design. And right now, when you mention my name, they will give you 48 months same as cash financing. Think about that. You get the job done now. You take your time paying for it. You don't pay any penalties and interest. You just get your backyard looking great. It doesn't matter what you're looking for. Of course, they do wood fences and decks. They can do the composite decks that are basically maintenance free, and they can do that for the fencing as well. But maybe you've got something bigger in mind. Maybe you're going to put in a sunroom. You're going to put in an all-season room, maybe a pergola in the backyard or a new fireplace. You can trust my friends at Chesterfield Fence. They've been doing this since 1968. They take a lot of pride in what they do. Check out their reviews online. Tell them Mark sent you. Go to chesterfieldfence.com.
Stewie at Stewart's American Mortgage. He's somebody you can trust. I have myself multiple times used the Bagel Loan. The Bagel Loan's a new mortgage or a mortgage refinance or even a cash-out mortgage refinance that you can pay $0 in closing costs on. It's pretty incredible. I mean, that's thousands of dollars that you're not spending that if you go other places, they're going to charge you those closing costs. Of course, it's normal to charge them. It's abnormal not to, but that's how Stewie does business. Right now, if you contact Stewie at 314-324-4440, 314-324-4440, and you're looking for a new mortgage, a new 30-year loan mortgage, he is going to offer you 1% lower on the first year of that 30-year loan mortgage, plus $0 in closing costs. So you got to get connected with him right now at 314-324-4440. That's 314-324-4440. Tell him Annie sent you. You can Google the Bagel Loan to find out more information on the Bagel Loan. NMLS number 226715.
There are many reasons to hire Morgan & Morgan for your injury case. Here's reason 17. In today's new world, many law firms have had money injected into their firms by Wall Street, private equity, and other lenders. This money usually comes in at very, very high interest rates. It's one of the reasons you see so many lawyers advertising. I'm John Morgan. This money is expensive and the interest compounds quickly. These law firms can have a huge need for cash just to pay that debt. Why does it matter to you? My fear is your case is settled early and for far less than it's worth, just to service the loan that has mafia-like rates. Our financial strength is your advantage. That plus our reputation makes our firm your firm. Visit forthepeople.com to see our results and verdicts. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-777-7777.
That's 314-777-7777.
Letting up. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. After 9 straight nights of U.S. strikes on Iran.
CENTCOM saying the U.S. has hit targets in Iran, mainly military command and control centers, as well as launching sites for missiles and drones. Those U.S. attacks come after Friday's attack by Iran with a ballistic missile in Jordan killed 3 U.S. service members.
Fox's Steve Harrigan in Tel Aviv. 2 of those Americans identified as First Lieutenant Tyler James Feehan of Hawaii and Private Isabella Gonzalez of Texas, just 19 years old. The White House says President Trump will attend a dignified transfer tomorrow. A 4th service member was killed Saturday during the controlled detonation of an Iranian drone in Iraq. As the U.S. hits Iran and Iran attacks Gulf neighbors, the Iran-backed Houthis in Yemen now say they will block Saudi shipping at the gateway to the Red Sea. An update expected soon from the FBI, which has a man in custody after a fire was set outside a federal building in New York City earlier today, injuring at least 2 people.
What occurred outside of 26 Federal Plaza this morning was deeply disturbing.
Mayor Zoran Mamdani pledging cooperation with the federal probe. Border czar Tom Homan calls the incident another example of attacking ICE. For now, the motive remains under investigation. That federal building includes immigration offices. 2 social media influencers facing rape and sex trafficking charges in the UK, just making their first appearance in federal court in Miami, where they were arrested over the weekend.
We're confident that we're going to win. We've never seen a scintilla of evidence that indicates that these guys are guilty of anything. They're being punished and attacked for what they say, not what they've done.
Defense attorney Joseph McBride, after a brief hearing where the Tate brothers, Andrew and Tristan, said they'll fight extradition to the UK. Investigators there say they now face 38 charges in all. The brothers have dual U.S. and British citizenship. America is listening to Fox News.
If you haven't switched to Pure Talk because you're not sure their coverage is every bit as reliable as Big Wireless, why not take them for a test drive? For a limited time, Pure Talk is offering any of their plans for just $15 a month for the first 3 months, including their top-tier unlimited data plan. No contracts, no commitments, just a great deal on a high-speed network with unlimited data from an American wireless company. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and let the savings begin.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids Max Strength. Its dual-active formula has 1,500 milligrams of calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolaids spells powerful relief. 1,500 milligrams is our highest amount of antacid per tablet. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Sunny skies, hot and humid. 95 late this afternoon. Tonight, clear skies. We'll hold in the 90s for evening plans. Very warm and humid, only 78 for the low. Tuesday, sunny, hot and humid. Some late-day thunderstorms. Here comes a cool front, but not on Tuesday. 95 degrees Wednesday and Thursday. Partly sunny, cooler and less humid. 86 Wednesday, and again on Thursday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The Annie Frey Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Time to schedule your air conditioner service. Get not just your AC, but your entire HVAC system checked for $19 a month with the Preferred Partner Plan. And be ready for the first heat wave. AirComfortService.com.
Annie.
Welcome back. Monday. What do we call it? Fat Monday. Big Fat Monday.
Yep, Big Fat Monday.
Welcome to the Big Fat Monday.
Big Fat Monday show.
There's a lot to catch up on. I mean, I literally saw Ethan and then Ryan and then Brad. We had like maybe 5 tops minutes before the show. First time back in a week and a half, and said hi to Ethan on my way in. And you were standing in here when I walked in. Brad came in, and they replaced this computer.
Yep.
Is anybody talking about why? We don't have to.
No? I don't know.
He talked about it.
He did.
He did talk about it? And
Well, I
by
guess
he, Brad, tell us what happened, because you're the one. I've only got secondhand knowledge.
So there was, I don't know if it's a virus, but it was a malicious link that was clicked on the computer.
Yeah.
And it was on a
Yeah,
reputable
we
website.
say unhoused now.
Yeah. It was on a, I can't even say, is it CAPTCHA? Is that how you say it?
Yep.
It was
That's how
one of
we
those
say
sort
it.
of links. Yeah, I don't know. I'll probably
He was-
stumble on it again.
he was struggling
but
with it
anyway,
off the air.
It's bad.
You get to the word and you just go grp.
Grp. Yeah. So you know what I'm talking about whenever I butcher that again. But anyway,
I said, just because we're talking about couch now, before we left, didn't I have a conversation with you about you could have a niche hobby in creating captchas for people that were just like the most ridiculous tests?
Yes, we did. I don't remember what it was, though.
You were perfectly suited for creating things that look on the surface easy, but then they're super nuanced.
Yeah.
It'd be like the way to implement something.
Like a picture of a Wheel of Fortune and be like, pick all the prizes you would like to have, but you can't click any that might bankrupt.
Maybe that's what Mark Cox was looking at when he
Something real subjective.
moved us in the direction of needing a new computer.
so anyway, it was a malicious link, and they snatched up that computer, unhooked it from everything, wrapped it in tinfoil, and hid it in a box. They put it in literal physical quarantine.
In a burn bag.
Yeah. It's going to be in the back
Over
rooms.
at KMOX.
Yeah.
Cash Patel will find it, like, I don't know. in
Yeah,
5
when
years.
he's touring KMOX. Hey, wait a minute.
Good story.
Yeah, okay. So that was the end of the story.
I guess we're done
All right,
with that
so
one.
the computer went
Happens
down.
to all of us. Yeah, so I just I didn't know that. I didn't know they replaced the computer. I mean, I can come get set up in this room in 3 minutes time. And I got a lot of stuff. And they just, obviously redid the studio, so it looks like I'm flying a spaceship here. I am not. flying a spaceship here, but I went to log in and it was like, we do not know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
You're new here. I don't trust you.
And it was like, hang on, this might take a couple of minutes.
It did say that. I'm like, don't talk to me like we know each other. You
And
don't know me.
It fades
obviously.
in, fades out. It's warning you.
Why
This
are you
might
talking-
take some time.
why are you talking in your
Because that's the way it's presented.
on hold phone voice?
It's giving you like the stars in the background. Like, this is going to be a nice time for you.
I know this sucks for you, but look at the screen. You'll feel better. I
Yeah.
don't feel better.
Yeah.
The
I gotta
show
do a
is
show at
starting.
noon. Come on.
Yeah, nothing was logged in, so I was on fire to try to. So we didn't get to really talk. Now you officiated your brother's wedding.
Yeah.
Did you require he allow you to do that?
I did
How
not.
How did that happen?
Last year, my brother and his bride-to-be at the time.
Are they okay with us talking about this?
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know. But maybe.
It's like I was the minister.
So they said to me, we would like you to officiate the wedding. And I was like,
Minister
oh, okay.
of truth.
And I was like, okay, yeah, that'd be great. And I think that I hope that I didn't, but I think maybe I offended
Dude,
them.
I want you to go back and listen to this
I
clip
know.
and hear how uncomfortable
not-
you are with whatever
I'm
you're
not
about
sure.
to say next.
I think that maybe I offended them by not being more excited about it. Even though I was completely willing to do it.
Willing or excited?
What?
You said I was completely willing to do it. You said
Yeah.
they thought you'd be more excited
They
about
thought
it.
that I would be more, just like.
Were you willing to
pumped
do
up.
it?
Yes.
Or were you excited to do it?
I was willing to do it because it was something I had never done, so I was a little intimidated by it.
Yeah.
But,
I know how you get intimidated by things.
well, I wasn't that intimidated.
It's a lot of pressure.
It was just something I'd never done, so I
no
had to think
pressure.
through. What
You
does
got to
it
go
even look like?
online and fill out a
So
form.
I think my reaction was a little bit like, okay. I was very much okay with doing it, but I just had to think through. So anyway, that day was last Saturday, not this most recent, but the time before. And the wedding itself went great.
Real quick, G Wibbs wants to ask a question before you end the story. Is she still a bride to be?
No, they're married now. Thank you, G.
Tell us about the
Wibbs.
follow-up.
So they got married last Saturday.
You have like a pastor standing behind some glass just in case you need to break glass.
What, like the Pope Mobile?
No, I mean just like in case you screw it up too much.
Oh.
Not like the
he's
Pope Mobile.
He's the emergency reserve?
Yeah.
like, oh, no.
You gotta have somebody waiting in the wing.
Oh, okay. No, there was nothing like that.
Supervising.
I almost got heat stroke, but it was
Really?
it was raining.
Did you make the day about you?
No.
Ryan!
I might have, but I
Ryan!
could have, but I didn't.
Did you?
No, of course I did not.
Did you talk their whole wedding about how hot you were?
No.
Ryan!
I mentioned it in the address.
You talked about you?
No, that
Ryan?
everybody there was probably feeling a little warm.
Including?
The bride.
You?
No, I didn't say anything about me.
No? No? Why'd it go up?
Because I don't remember if I said anything about him.
So you talked to, did you make it about you?
No, I definitely did not. It was about Nick and Peyton and Jesus.
In the opposite order.
Yes.
Thank you. And
But
how hot you were.
But the wedding
Where
went
you were
great.
sweating from.
So the rehearsal is where we ran into problems, but that's okay
That's
because
why you
it
have
was
a
the
rehearsal.
So the father of the bride walked up, and I had my little script there, but it didn't have anything about what I was supposed to do when he walked up to give her away. So I had to say, what am I supposed to do right now to him in the rehearsal?
To the dad?
Yeah.
You asked
And he's
him?
like, you're supposed to ask who gives this woman.
He's like, who is this
And I was like,
Yahoo?
oh, okay. So I wrote that down on the top of my script, and so we had that figured out. The problem really came later. Now, I told the story while you were gone, so
Not to
some
me.
people are going to know the ending of
Everybody
this already.
sit down. I got to hear the story.
So later, after this rehearsal, and it was quite a rehearsal. I mean, we had to have everybody walking through, and they're walking from inside to outside.
That's what a rehearsal is.
So, well, it was a long walk. It wasn't just like a little, like some church aisles are like
like
10
around the block?
steps, you know. It was a walk, and so you had to have everybody in order and all the stuff, and everybody. And there was quite a few groomsmen and bridesmaids. So the rehearsal was not a fast one. We were really walking through everything. Plus, for me, I didn't know what I was doing.
This is why you do it.
So yeah, exactly. That's why we're doing the rehearsal. So we're going through all this process and all these people there to go through it with us. At the very end of it, my brother pulls me aside and he goes, "Hey man, your fly was down the whole time."
Why at the end.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, what are you thinking? Why at the end?
The whole time?
Tell me right in the middle the first time you see it.
Hey, dude, zip your pants.
And here's the worst thing about it. And it plays into the show, too. Because
what do you mean it plays it to this show?
To this show.
It plays into this show.
We had this, you remember, we had this conversation.
What to do when a man's fly is down.
What to do when a man's fly is down.
You said if it was a close buddy, you'd zip it for him.
You walk up to him, you maybe even whisper in their ear, you get real tight, and you go, hey, buddy, I'm going to do something for you, and you zip it up for him. At least
Not your brother.
At least you tell him.
Not your brother.
My brother was listening to that conversation on the radio.
Now you know where you and your brother stand.
And told me after the rehearsal, hey, I'm sorry that I didn't walk up and whisper something in your ear and zip it up for you. And I'm like, that was a joke. The point is you still tell them.
Me.
So there aren't a lot of pictures of the rehearsal, thankfully. But if
Is there one? I only need one.
It's probably wide open.
I don't want to think about it. You weren't like exposed.
No, I wasn't. It wasn't like hanging out.
You were wearing underwear, right?
I was wearing underwear. Like you couldn't see anything.
Well,
I think I was wearing black underwear too with my black pants.
Crossed the line.
So you really couldn't really see a lot other than the fact that the zipper's shining in the sun.
Info dude says Ryan had his 97.1 underwear on.
Yeah.
It'd been great if it had been some of those Fauci underpants.
Yeah, when you could see in the slide.
He's just peeking around.
It said, download the Audacy app.
For now. Hurry up.
Hurry. We'll be on Monday.
What did you, like, in that moment, as soon as he told you and you realized, was it I mean, you obviously zipped
Why
it.
would that? What? Oh, no. It was slow motion. It was right away. And it wasn't all the way down. But it had slipped. It's so like a zipper for
Did the pants
jeans.
fail you? Did you zip it and it kind of wiggled down?
I think the pants failed
It's
me.
the pants' fault.
I think so. Because it's dress pants, and I don't wear those a lot. And so I don't have any sort of familiarity with how
the pants still work the same, son.
I don't know about that, because I think I did zip
Everybody
it up.
puts their pants on.
But you know how when you're
familiar with them.
You know how, Brad, when you are putting on your
I'll sit
pants,
this one out.
a lot of times with dress pants, the pants are the last thing you put on.
Because you tuck your shirt in.
Because you have your
You
shirt.
put your suit jacket on over before.
Well, you have everything
tuck your suit
on that
jacket
you
in.
want to tuck in, and then you pull your pants up.
Okay.
So I'm not 100% sure that I zipped it up all the way, but it was not zipped all the way down either. So I'm thinking that I did.
Did it have like a
Was it
double
half
hook?
open or half closed is really the question here.
I would say it was half open.
That's the way you felt.
That's the yes.
I think your brother thought it was half closed.
No, he did. Yeah, no. He really is the villain here.
His own wedding. You did make it about you. You're like, I'm going to do it, but in a passive aggressive kind of way.
Yeah, it was really unfortunate because it was genuinely embarrassing.
Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
Did it become a topic of was it a publicly discussed thing?
I think so, but not around me.
But that's not
the
publicly
problem.
discussed.
Oh, yes, it is. Oh, absolutely it is.
I guess it would feel like that.
All
for you.
the groomsmen who I sort of know because they're my brother's friends.
But not that well.
They all knew about it for sure afterwards. And I think they were talking about it amongst each other.
Did people seem during the rehearsal unusually jovial?
No, that's the thing is that I think maybe only about half the people noticed.
What was Mr. Wiggins there?
Yeah.
Your dad?
Yeah, my dad was there.
Did he know?
I'm not sure. I
think
never
you
talked about it with him.
I think, Bob,
I'll get a text if
I
he's
need a
listening.
text message to Ryan right now. Does he know the story?
Oh, yeah.
What did he have to say about it?
He didn't
Zip
say-
your pants,
yeah,
Ryan.
He didn't say anything, which makes me think maybe that it was a problem.
What about your wife?
Oh, she knew.
The whole
knew.
time?
No, she knew afterwards for sure. Well, that's
Was
the
she
thing.
upset that there wasn't more done to protect
I
your
think
honor?
The reason that people didn't say anything is that I'm standing up there playing the role of pastor, and so they're walking down the aisle looking right at me.
Yeah, they were.
I don't think
you were looking back at them too.
I don't think that they were like, "Oh boy," because they're thinking about their part in everything.
No, that's not what
they
they were
probably
thinking about.
noticed.
They were
it,
thinking about zipper,
and then
zipper,
went, uh-oh.
zipper.
But then everybody's standing in their
zipper.
spots, and nobody was talking. Everybody was being quiet. and
Because
like,
everybody
going
was sitting there going, what are we going to do? Are we going to tell them?
Yeah.
What percentage of those people thought that you were doing a bit?
Nobody thinks you're doing a bit.
At a rehearsal dinner?
No. The pastor doesn't do a zipper open bit.
Yeah, but
hope
it's
not.
Ryan.
No.
Here's, you know what?
Even
should've
I
done?
know that he wouldn't do that.
You know where you would have known if it was a bit if I also during the rehearsal at the end of it was like, and you're married, and then I went back and did a crab walk down the aisle with it facing.
G-Web says
heaven.
my eyes are up here.
I did get a lot of looks. No, I didn't really.
So what did you say? What did you say to your brother?
I was kind of mad, and I was like, dude, you absolutely should have told me. You should have told me. And he's like, yeah, that's all right. He just like,
he was chill
he
about
just
it?
sort of shrugged it off.
He probably took
didn't
a little bit
care.
of pressure off of everyone else. They're like, well, it could be worse. We could be that guy.
The problem wasn't that I was just some guy like standing in the fourth place of
No,
the
you were the
groomsmen.
center of
I'm
attention.
the center of the whole thing. And I'm not, I'm holding a paper or whatever, so I'm almost like, hey, focus like right down here. Look at this.
Look at this. It's a little something extra.
It was like an arrow. Check this out, you guys. I was doing like the XXX.
No, stop it. Stop it. I can see you. The rest of the people don't have this burden, but I can.
It's averting your eyes.
You faced me.
Yeah, I did.
Turn around and face James Barnacle of the FBI assistant director in charge in New York
Check
City.
this out,
No,
James.
stop it.
Check it out, buddy.
Does this change how
He's on TV.
Will you?
He's not really watching
The
me.
next time someone has their fly 50% or more down, and like if it were your brother, let's just do this.
I can tell you what I do with my brother already.
Tell me right now.
I'd walk up to him and I'd open it further and then I'd push it out the door.
Just helping you out, man.
Yeah.
Did you get him married?
Yeah, they're married. It went. The wedding itself went well. Nothing happened at the wedding.
Other than your fly being open for the world to see at the rehearsal,
At the
front and center of the entire
Yeah.
thing, was it a good rehearsal? I mean, it probably was pretty good for you up until that point.
I don't know. The rehearsal was good. I felt a lot better once the wedding was over because I did feel a little bit out of my element just doing something I hadn't done. I thought it went fine, and I think everybody thought it went fine, but there was like a lot of pressure went away on Saturday.
Well, Wibbs also says at least you did remember to wear pants. So good for you.
Thank you.
I think you nailed it.
Well, I'm glad the bar's so low because I can do that.
That's on you. That's on you. Ethan, sports and local next on the Annie Frey Show.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, you're not alone. Most importantly, you don't have to live with it. Paramount Men's Medical Center restores men's sex lives in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, even when Viagra and Cialis don't work. Here's Dr. Simovitz, specialist in men's health.
Paramount Men's Medical Center's painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. 98% of patients see instant results right in the office.
Men are now lasting longer than they ever imagined. And the best part, at Paramount Men's Medical Center, your consultation and first treatment are free. Qualified patients even get their testosterone checked free. Call 314-887-4333. 314-887-4333. Take control of your sex life. Call now. 314-887-4333.
If you suffer from burning, tingling, or numb feet, pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Patton, D.C. Doctor, what is neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is nerve damage to the feet and legs.
What are the symptoms?
The symptoms are numbness, burning, tingling, pain, and loss of balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
It's absolutely treatable, and we have amazing results.
If you have burning, tingling, numbness, coldness in your feet or hands or balance issues, call us at Comprehensive Integrated Health today for a nerve damage screening. The screening will tell if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for our cutting-edge treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe nothing can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, and even amputations. The first 10 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Call 636-538-5188. That's 636-538-5188 for your free nerve damage screening. 636-538-5188.
You work hard, follow the rules, and get absolutely slammed by taxes. Your paycheck taxed, your property taxed, everything you buy taxed. Missouri's tax system isn't broken, it's rigged against you. The lawyers and lobbyists working for big corporations and the super rich buried over 200 loopholes for themselves in our tax code. While they pay nothing on the services they use, working families are taxed over and over. It's no wonder they're lying about Amendment 5. Our corrupt tax system is rigged in their favor. They're getting a free ride on your back. Don't believe their lies. The truth is, Amendment 5 closes loopholes exploited by the super rich and slashes taxes paid by Missouri's working families, phasing out income taxes and cutting property taxes. They finally pay what they owe while you keep what you earn. Vote yes on Amendment 5. Paid for by Missouri Promise PAC.
Don't let tax refund worries hold you back. File now with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They'll find every credit and deduction to help you get every refund dollar you deserve, or your money back. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative. This segment of The Annie Frey Show is sponsored by All Financial.
Check it out. Sports and local.
Gandalf's Gloob Butter.
Oh, God.
What the hell
I
does that
really
even
made
mean?
him hit the B on that. Did you
So
notice
this didn't
that?
get
Did
any
you-
better while I was gone.
No,
Gloob.
it got worse. Did you make it? Did you send it back to us? I need more on the B.
I need more B, JJ.
You said gloob. I need gloob.
Yeah, make it clear that it's not glue.
I'm surprised he still takes your emails.
Well, we haven't got new ones in a while, so I wonder
Yeah,
if he is.
I'm not sure either. Also, we keep paying him, so he better.
What a job.
Yeah, what a job.
JJ, move over. I'm coming after your gig.
Did you guys see any smoky haze in the sky this morning driving
Yes.
in?
No, we don't do those things at my house, Ethan. What about you?
I'm sorry, what did you say over there?
I'm eating animal crackers.
Love animal
Just
crackers.
watching the smoke roll through.
Smoky haze.
Wildfire smoke bringing in hazy skies
It's
to
coming
parts of the St. Louis region. It already
here.
is here. Yeah.
Not
You
paying
really didn't
attention.
notice?
No.
What do you do on
No.
your drive in?
Blame Canada.
I went on roads today. I was like total, you know how you go to work and you get there and you're like, I don't even remember being on that road.
Yeah.
I was in a hurry and took 5570, which I am proud to report has less lanes than when I left that are drivable.
It's great.
Then I went to get on to the San Mutual Bridge, and when I turned onto that road, that was not the direction that my GPS was taking me. And yes, I use GPS every day to come to work because the construction is so obnoxious that I need to know which way is actually going to get me there before noon. And I went to get on 70, and they had that whole thing closed down. I thought I was going to have to exit. Turns out, nope, it opens back up into 70, but it was just an absolute mess. So I was not paying attention to the haze. If I could see the road, that's what I was driving on.
Residents across eastern Missouri and southwestern Illinois can expect hazy conditions to come in. They're starting to come in today. They're saying it's supposed to be worse tomorrow, and this is all due to from the wildfires in Canada drifting south behind a cold front. While the smoke is not expected to reach dangerous levels across the St. Louis metro area, it could reduce visibility and create a smoky appearance in the sky. An air quality alert remains in effect.
Is it going to create really cool sunsets?
That's a good question.
Probably.
What do you think, Ryan?
All right.
Well, last night's sunset was really nice, so
I
maybe
believe-
that was why.
Yeah, there's more particles and stuff in the air. Like when there's a little something going on in the atmosphere, you get more colors.
My kids looked at the sun and they said, "Is that the sun, Daddy?" And I said, "Yes, it is." It's beautiful.
Why are you? Don't encourage him.
Greene County, Macoupin County, Montgomery, and Fayette counties in Illinois all remain in air quality alert effect today. So maybe don't go like on a run outside. I don't know why anyone would do that. You know,
Just
either
in
way,
general,
it's
even on
just
a
so
clear day.
freaking hot right now.
Unless
but, you
it's
know,
a Starbucks run, you up?
Next story.
Ethan?
Health officials are investigating as cases linked to the
Ethan's like,
cyclospora
we said we
outbreak
weren't going to talk about that on the air.
continues to increase in multiple states, including Missouri and Illinois.
On a scale of 0 to 10, how worried, scared are you about the explosive diarrhea, cyclospora?
A 0.
Okay.
I am not worried about it at all.
Ethan?
At all.
Is it possible to be like negative worried about it?
You're not worried at all?
You're in favor of it. Then.
I think it's coming from Ethan.
I nominate Cyclospora.
Brad?
Probably a 2 or 3.
10. I'm a 10.
Are you serious?
Gosh, just
Terrified.
Get over it. Just get the poops. Who
What?
cares?
It says it lasts for like a month.
It doesn't matter. I deal with these things all
No,
the
I
time
don't.
anyway.
How do they know it lasts that long? Has it been around that
All
long?
3 of you get the poops. You are not coming in here to do work. I don't want you to be in because you can vacate at any given time, or worse, not. No, it's devastating. It would be devastating
Why?
to your quality. What?
Who cares? It's
Lose
just
a
the
lot of
poops.
weight.
There's toilets everywhere.
There are not. No. If you have explosive diarrhea, are you still coming to work?
No. I don't know. Maybe. Probably.
False.
No.
I don't know.
Brad's not. Ethan?
Nope. No, I'm not coming to work.
Exactly.
Wait a minute.
If I get it, I'm not coming to work. Yeah, he's like, Taco Bell? Anybody? DoorDash?
No, I just realized that if you had a negative rating like Ethan did, maybe he's in favor of constipation.
No, he's in favor of explosive diarrhea. I'm more in favor of constipation than
Oh,
explosive
yeah,
diarrhea.
that's right. It would be the opposite direction.
Yes.
You really confused me for a second.
Tomorrow's poll, if you had to.
Yeah.
What would you prefer?
Constipated
Oh, man.
or explosive diarrhea?
Yeah, which one would you rather have? Man, that's tough.
That's more like a Friday poll. But
Yeah, apparently it was
do it
every day
Tuesday.
on the show when I was gone. I got highlights about poop.
Do that on a Tuesday poll and ask Hans.
That's Thursday. Welcome to the Annie Frey Show.
Dang it.
That would be Jim Carafano.
Ask Jim.
well, if there was any reason to worry, it would be that there has been a dramatic rise in just a handful of days, Annie, 8 days. The number of cases in Missouri has gone from 43 to 216. In Illinois, the total is at 309 cases right now. So,
I'm so scared. I literally told my family we're not eating uncooked fruits and vegetables.
and then all the kids were like, "Yay!"
No, they all eat salads and fruit. That's like the thing in our house that they don't have to ask to have. It's unlimited.
That's good. I think that the St. Louis
Constipation.
Cardinals may have gotten cyclospora on the ball field yesterday because
looking for
they
excuses.
crapped the bed.
Huh.
Yeah? That's pretty good, right?
That was really good.
Fist bump on that
Yeah,
one.
that was
Thanks,
very
thanks.
good.
Appreciate
Very
that.
professional.
Well played,
The St. Louis Cardinals yesterday afternoon in the rubber game against the Arizona Diamondbacks held a 7-0 lead.
Yeah, we stopped paying attention to it.
Yeah, me
They
too.
lost that game? I actually didn't even know this. Wow.
Sports and local, Ethan.
In the 5th inning, they held a 7-0 lead. And in the 6th inning, Andre Palante ran into some trouble. And it just kind of kept getting worse and worse. The Diamondbacks tacked on 3 runs in the 6th. And then in the 7th inning, they had an inside-the-park home run on what should have been a routine base hit. Got past Jose Fermin in left field. That made it 7-5. In the 8th inning, Nolan Arenado had his 1,999th hit. One hit away from 2,000, but it was a home run that tied the game at 7. And then it really got even worse in extras. You know how they got the ghost runner that starts on second base in extra innings. Yes, Annie, you with me?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, good. The Cardinals had runners at the corners, and there was a routine pop-up on the infield, and Brian Torres didn't get back to first in time. I don't know what he was doing. Led to 2 outs, and the inning ended shortly after. And in the bottom of the inning, the Diamondbacks won it. 8-7 was the final. This is a very important series because the Cardinals have a very small lead on Arizona in the wild card race. Ugh. Arizona is now half a game behind St. Louis in the wild card race. They would have been 2.5 back if St. Louis would have won yesterday. So very painful loss. 7-run lead blown. That is the largest lead the Cardinals have blown since 2010.
Wow.
16 years. Yeah. So we will see how they respond tonight. They will be on the road in Anaheim facing off against the Los Angeles Angels. Kyle Leahy will be on the bump for St. Louis with a late start time.
The bump is the pitcher's mound, Ryan.
Yeah. Not
lovely lady lumps. Check it out.
I have no words. 9:10 first pitch tonight.
9:10. It's too late.
It is pretty late.
I'll be in bed.
No, you will not.
Drinking.
Checking out your lumps.
Drinking milk and
Eating gummies.
Swill.
Anything but lettuce.
All right.
Anything, I might be.
No, he
I'm
sounds
not
like
afraid
he's
of it
going
at
to
all.
go out and buy himself some. This is crazy.
I don't eat lettuce normally. I might now.
There is 45 minutes ago. Polymarket
Oh, no.
tweets, Justin, FDA says evidence continues to point to shredded iceberg lettuce from Taylor Farms in central Mexico as the source of the cyclospora outbreak.
Are they saying that the FDA was wrong? Or is
Well,
that...
I think that this means that the FDA was wrong for sure, but we're not sure which time the FDA was wrong.
So they were initially wrong or wrong about being wrong.
Two wrongs don't make a right, FDA. Let's take a break. Ethan, thank you.
Thank you.
Constipation.
No words left.
314-241-9797. Constipation or explosive diarrhea. You let us know. We'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Lloyd Lockridge, and I'm the host of a new podcast from Audacy called Family Lore. In this podcast, I'm going to have people on to tell unusual and sometimes far-fetched stories about their families.
I've heard my whole life that she invented the margarita.
And then we're going to investigate those stories and find out how much of it is true.
He gets a patent 1 month before the Wright brothers. Oh my God.
Please follow and listen to Family Lore, an Audacy podcast, available now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your shows.
Gentlemen, Mark Cox here. When's the last time you actually felt like yourself? Victory Men's Health specializes in hormone optimization, sexual health, weight loss, and longevity. It's built for everyday men who just want to feel better and perform their best. They already have offices in Town and Country, Sunset Hills, O'Fallon, Missouri, and O'Fallon, Illinois. They're about to open a new location in Glen Carbon very soon. It's a higher standard of care just waiting for you. Learn more at victorymenshealth.com.
When you're approaching retirement, there are a lot of questions to answer. Do you have enough money to fund your income for life? How should you claim Social Security? And what's your plan for health care and long-term care? Hi, I'm Eric Robert, Director of Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel and host of On the Money Saturday mornings at 11 on 97.1 FM Talk. Don't leave your retirement to chance. It's crucial to understand and address relevant risks before you retire. Our team can help you get organized, guide you through critical retirement decisions, and create an investment portfolio designed around your needs. To schedule your free retirement plan consultation, go to clearpathinvesting.com. That's clearpathinvesting.com. Or call us at 636-695-2650. That's clearpathinvesting.com or 636-695-2650. Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member SIPC and NYSE.
Men, are you just not feeling it? Could be your testosterone. U.S. Men's Medical Center in St. Peters helps men experiencing loss of energy, focus, concentration, and low libido. Check out the testimonials at usmensmedicalcenter.com. Patients are excited about feeling great, having energy, improved libido. Plus, they love the staff and the fact that they accept all insurance, including Medicare. Call U.S. Men's Medical Center at 636-244-5333. usmensmedicalcenter.com.
Regarding today's poll question, a text comes in from 314-241-9797 saying, just now, I guess now is the time to stock up on toilet paper like it's 2020. Okay,
No, but this time would actually be for a good reason.
yeah, that was just hoarding. The poll question is actually about Iran. So don't
On a different note,
don't confuse it like I did.
less than before or more than before?
Just let us know. I don't know. 2:35. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
2026 is a big year for America, and we'll be here with you, celebrating every step of the way. America 250 on 97.1 FM Talk, sponsored by Paramount Men's Medical Center.
This is a great intro song for this segment where we're going to talk about low T.
Are we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you guys covered this at all?
No.
So, Pete Hegseth has said that if there's low testosterone, like people should have options to have their testosterone treated in the military.
Yep.
Did you see that story?
Yeah.
Melissa Rudy wrote a FoxNews.com piece with War Secretary Pete Hegseth fueling a national conversation about testosterone. Many men may wonder whether their own levels are where they should be. On July 15th, Hegseth directed the Pentagon to begin mandatory testosterone deficiency screening for active duty and reserve personnel age 30 and older as part of their periodic health assessments, with testing available upon request for younger service members. Testosterone replacement therapy, TRT, when clinically indicated, can be voluntary, according to the AP. What do you think about that?
I don't think it's a bad idea. It's flying in the face, though, of what's happening in society. Because I haven't seen this study for a while. It's been a couple years. But overall, the amount of testosterone per man is dropping like a rock.
So, yeah, dramatically.
Yeah. So it's probably important that this is implemented so that you can have some sort of standard with it, which is what they're saying. They're setting a standard.
More from the piece by Rudy. Unlike the Pentagon's policy, the Endocrine Society does not recommend routine testosterone screening for men without symptoms. Quote, there is insufficient evidence to support a general recommendation to perform population-level screening for hypogonadism in asymptomatic men with measurement of blood testosterone level, the society states on its website. It goes into talking about what constitutes low testosterone. This is language that if you're not like having these conversations, probably doesn't mean anything to you. But we're definitely talking to a demographic of people who are in the age range right now of if you're in your 30, which is very military oriented. And I would think that you would want your military men to have adequate levels of testosterone. But you get into your 40s, your 50s, that stuff tapers off, and it causes a whole host of issues. So it tells you in this article, if you're interested, at foxnews.com about what levels are normal. It's kind of relative to whatever your numbers are and how would you know them if you haven't had them tested. Let's go into symptoms of testosterone deficiency. Have you ever looked into this?
Yeah.
I mean, I will say that I do HRT, hormone replacement therapy, and since I have started doing this, it's one of the single most impactful things that has changed my quality of life.
Everybody who does it says that they are glad that they're doing it.
Yes. I do it with Infinite Vitality, who I've talked to you about here, and just different types of hormone therapy that I do with them. At 40, I feel very adequately prepared for the day. Not more, but absolutely no less. Whereas before it was like every morning, how am I going to do this? I don't want to do this.
Tired?
Just tired, no energy. Huh. You know the rigors of a day, especially during the school year when you've just got to do a million things. You're not changing the gravitational pull of the world, but you just have to do so many things. And when your body isn't meeting that moment, it becomes very stressful to try to juggle all of that. So here's some symptoms of testosterone deficiency. I won't ask you guys to go into your personal whatever, but if you want to add in anything here, jump in. Low testosterone can cause chronic fatigue, weight gain, bone and muscle loss, cognitive problems, and increased body fat. To me, that sounds like being 40.
Yeah.
Just all of those things come with the age. And that was one of the things that when I was talking to folks about my personal therapy, you just feel like at 40, this is just what 40 is. You just think this is what getting older is, which is why I feel very grateful that I've been able to partner with them and realize it doesn't have to be that way. It's not for everybody, but when you realize that maybe there are some therapies out there for you, it can be life-changing. So have the conversation with somebody who you trust. The Endocrine Society shares the following list of common symptoms and signs of testosterone deficiency. A lot of these, I think, are male and female. Obviously, some of them are specific to men because of anatomy, but decreased sex drive, low libido, that certainly is something that both men and women experience when their testosterone dips. ED, obviously, that's one that a lot of people talk about. A lot of the advertisements that you hear from people who do therapies, that's usually kind of what it's centered around, which is a very important thing. If there's an ED issue that you're facing, you do want to get that you want to consider that and you want to get that fixed, of course, but it's so much bigger and broader than that. Reduced sperm count and infertility is another one that's part of that more male-dominated thing. Fatigue and low energy. I think fatigue and low energy are kind of different things. I feel like fatigue is what happens when you exert effort and energy. Low energy is kind of like the bank you start with. And when you have that suppressed energy, it's hard to like get anything going, to like just the get up and go, to get the things done that you need to do. All of these things make sense to me why in the military you'd be like, let's make sure that they're not super deficient in this category, because if they are, there's therapy out there that could help them. Loss of muscle mass and strength. You've talked before, Ryan, about your biggest fear about getting older is like just not having the capacity to do normal things. Is that how you put it?
Yeah, something like that. Like just losing the ability to do the things that I do now. Because you get used to being able to
Do you mean
accomplish
like traveling or
Well, it's
cutting your own grass or what?
Anything like that you just are like, oh, this is the normal, I can do this. And as you get older, it's like that stuff seems to get robbed from you slowly, and that's what I loathe.
Also, if you have put the effort in to try to build muscle mass and strength, it just seems like after 40 it's a lot harder. You got to put way more effort in, and what you get out of it is, it's like, gosh, that was a lot of work for that.
Yeah, that's why you don't put any effort in.
Brad, do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's very difficult to add muscle mass after 40. I used to do, well, I say used to. I was a regularly weightlift. I'm dealing with an injury right now, so I can't really do it. But before I was doing that, trying to add muscle mass now is more difficult. I mean, you get stronger, but you don't get bigger. You don't get more defined. It feels like you're spinning your wheels. You work really hard, and you don't see the results that, back in the day, you throw in a couple weeks in the gym and then you were like, oh, look at that. You can see the veins in my arms and start to see the muscles define. And it's just not like that anymore.
What about fatigue and low energy, Brad?
Yep. I remember that too. Fatigue, low energy. You just, I don't know. I would get home from work and I just wouldn't have any energy to do anything else because I used it all up doing what I needed to do for the job. And you come home and you just don't feel like you're moving. And maybe you sit there, maybe you don't. Maybe you're able to get up, maybe you don't. It just depends on the day. So it was hard to motivate yourself to go to the gym and stuff like that.
Depressed mood, irritability, or difficulty concentrating. What about that one?
I'm just irritable.
No, you're irritating. It's different.
In general. Oh, okay. I didn't know the difference.
That's from my low testosterone.
Well, that's what my doctors said too.
You know what? You're really
You're
irritating.
just irritating. I'm like, oh, I'm irritated a lot? Oh, okay. But they always, whenever they talk about my testosterone, they always say, but you have a ton of testosterone. And then they fan
Do they go, you have a ton? They have a ton. They get real low.
You got a ton of testosterone.
Ton, man.
Bro.
And then like
they fan
a
themselves.
fist bump.
Yeah. And the women come in the room, they're like, they just want to peek and just see me.
What?
They're just like,
What are they peeking at?
Is that
no,
guy
that
with all
wasn't the
the
doctor's
testosterone?
office. You were changing the rehearsal story as we speak.
No, that's not true at all. No, the truth is, though, I have all the energy I need until I stop.
Mm-hmm.
And I can
And
stop
then
it.
the wall
and then
is
it's
like,
over.
sit down, you dummy.
It's like, and that could be at 4:50
Yeah.
when I get home from work or whatever. And it's just like, oh, if I stopped, I'm done.
Yeah.
That's something that I've
Or it
realized
could be
that, like,
9 or 10.
I'm glad you said that, because when I get going and I'm cleaning or something like that, I'm like, I can't stop. It's too dangerous. I will never pick this back up again. Like I have the motivation right now. If this is gonna get done, because you usually make a bigger mess before you get everything clean. I'm like, I have to see this through, and you have to see it through with me. What do you think, Brad? Depressed mood, irritability, or difficulty concentrating?
Yeah, I mean, those are all signs of it. Man, trying to think. Depressed mood for sure. Irritability. I wouldn't say I experience irritability unless it's just things that are like
irritating.
Irritating, yeah. I think that I can point to rational things that irritate me.
All of these things are irritating.
Yeah,
it's not me.
But I mean, man, every now and then though, I'll go through a moment where it'll just be like, I want to throw this screwdriver through the wall, and it's why? Well, because it popped out of the screw just a little bit that one time, and it's an irrational irritation. Sometimes
That's a sign of low T.
Yeah, obviously.
Do you guys ever get hot flashes?
No. Although I have noticed that my estrogen is lower.
I haven't. I skipped to the last one with hot flashes. The other one's breast enlargement or tenderness and shrinking testicles. We'll skip that and go to a break. But all signs of low
Let's
T.
hang out there for a second.
You already apparently have. I think we've done enough of that. How far low was that zipper?
Refer back to the beginning of this hour if you don't know what that meant.
Yeah, just this hour. Not 1 o'clock when we had a guest. All right, let's wrap this show up. We'll get the poll results when we come back. Do you support President Trump's efforts with Iran? Vote at youtube.com/@AnnieFrey. Just type in Annie Frey, Frey, on YouTube. You'll see our channel is broadcasting live. Vote for the poll in the live chat. You can text us your thoughts at 314-241-9797. Back in a minute.
Mark Cox here. Don't be fooled by those deceptive ads you're hearing on Missouri Amendments 4 and 5. Get the truth. I'll explain all of the amendments and key local races. Download my August voter guide at 971talk.com.
When Donald Trump needs conservative votes to help pass his agenda for Missouri, Representative Tricia Burns never answers the call. Tricia Burns has missed 370 votes. Burns is bucking President Trump's priorities. Burns did not vote to stop DEI initiatives, prevent China from owning Missouri land, defund Planned Parenthood, and Burns did not vote to ban boys from girls' sports. Tricia Burns not showing up for Missouri and President Trump. Instead, Tricia Burns spends her time pulling pranks on the suicide prevention hotline. Yes, you heard that right. Tricia Burns lied to the police and staged a fake suicide emergency. She sent a series of messages to the hotline and said she, quote, had a gun to her head, end quote. When she got caught, she said there'd be no consequences because she's a politician. By August 4th, vote to show Tricia Burns that there are consequences to being bad at your job. Cut the Bullpack paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidate committee.
This is attorney Todd Nissenholtz of Kaufman Townsley. Injured by a careless driver? We work with the top doctors in St. Louis. We'll help you get the expert medical care you need and the maximum amount of money you deserve. Call 314-777-7777.
Well, I'm sure you're aware, I guess you can all imagine, that not only are we busy, but other reputable companies are also just as busy, if not busier, and it's only going to get worse. So if you know, I know this is tough, but if your system has not been keeping up with your house for just not this year, but last year, the year before, and even the year before that, if you want to quit doing it and just get it done, just call me, Bart Inman, and it's one easy number, the easiest of numbers that sometimes I forget. So write it down. 314-293-2600, Missouri and Illinois, or on the internet, bartinman.com. That is Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
According to MasterCard, nearly half of small businesses have been a victim of a cyber attack. As cybercrime escalates, ThrottleNet is calling on businesses to strengthen their security posture by taking a free online IT security audit right from your desk. This 3-minute online assessment provides an immediate score to see security gaps and vulnerabilities in your network. For 26 years, ThrottleNet has supported your business IT everything right here in St. Louis. In fact, no client of ThrottleNet has ever paid a ransom. So visit throttlenet.com/971 to take the free assessment today.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. About to wrap it up and hand it over to Mark Reardon so we can class up the place here on 97.1 FM Talk. So text line is always open, 314-241-9797. Do you support President Trump's efforts with Iran? Yes, no, or less than before, or more than before? We'll get to your text here in a second. Brad, real quick, what's your thoughts on the poll today?
Yeah, I'm in between. I think I would say yes more than before, and I think that comes from striking, the strike that killed more of our soldiers. I don't take that very well. I think that we should bomb them to dust and then bomb the dust. I'm over it. I'm done with Iran. I'm done with their nonsense. I'm done with them talking about we want a deal and then shooting at ships in the Strait. bomb them, and then bomb them again.
Hawk.
Very
Lindsey
much so.
Graham over on the producer side there.
This just in.
Texts
or thoughts?
Yeah, my thoughts are that I would be somewhere between a yes and maybe even more than before, partially because I actually don't think this has gone the way that Trump and company thought that it would, but that they've course corrected in a way that I think is going to be really good for us long term, us as an Americans.
Chris F. says on YouTube, I said yes. The world's dealing with Iran the last 40-something years hasn't really worked out, so it's time for something new. And Brinker says, I chose more than before. I wasn't very supportive at the start, but now I support it more. The Iranian, quote, leaders don't understand peace. Like we said earlier, they can't get out of their own way. Any text to wrap up the show? Probably on this, but maybe whatever you decide to pull. Nice shirt, by the way.
I mean, there's a lot of talk about constipation. And so I'm just going to skip over most of that.
Taylor Farms would like a word.
This one says, I voted yes. I'm glad he went back kinetic. You cannot deal with fanatics whose religious belief is to wipe out infidels and die. Other ones, just a lot of comments about other stuff too, though, that we've been talking about.
The U.S. FDA has posted a clarification. We read earlier the Taylor Farms post where they said that the positive test result on their iceberg lettuce from central Mexico was a false positive. Earlier today, the FDA posted to clarify, this false positive lab sample does not change the basis for FDA's ongoing outbreak investigation or the overwhelming epidemiological data supporting the current voluntary recall by Taylor Farms. Over the weekend, FDA alerted Taylor Farms that a new sample of shredded lettuce from Taylor Farms de Mexico tested positive for cyclospora. During import examination at the southern border, this ended up being a false positive, and Taylor Farms was alerted to the corrective test results Sunday. FDA's traceback investigation and outbreak data continue to converge on shredded iceberg lettuce from Taylor Farms locations in central Mexico. FDA will continue to work with federal and state partners to investigate this multi-state outbreak and ensure products implicated in this outbreak have been removed from the market. Protecting the American public remains our highest priority. We encourage the public to continue to avoid all products listed in Taylor Farms' voluntary recall.
Well, it's not going to be hard to avoid those foods when you don't eat them that much anyway.
Lettuce?
Yeah, I don't really eat a lot of lettuce.
Veggies?
To be honest with you.
I am ready for people to quarantine.
From lettuce?
I want masks.
Or from each other? You want
Mostly.
masks so that people can't eat lettuce?
I just don't want to see people's faces.
Yeah, you do. You did Show Me That Smile. You did a protest called Show Me That Smile.
That's true. It was successful.
Yep. And it worked.
There's some people who still don't like me because I was like, we should see the children smile.
I know. I remember it was so weird because
I do not want to see their explosive diarrhea. No, none, not at all.
They
diapers for everybody. Mandatory diaperage. Now. Go ahead.
Yeah, just put a mask over your butt.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Make sure it's in an N95.
So no particles get out.
Yes! Who's going to argue with that?
I'm not arguing with it. I think that you might need a little bit bigger mask.
I do not want this thing to go airborne.
I agree. I agree. That's it's just not going to hold that
Make
much.
sure everybody is masked up and make sure your friends are zipped up, if you know what I mean.
Do you remember when people
Don't
would
want any
drive
of that
by
stuff
us
coming out?
when we were doing the Show Me That Smile protest?
Give us the finger.
And people were like mad. You're like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
And it was like 22 or 23.
It wasn't that far.
It wasn't even.
No.
It wasn't even early.
My kids had been unmasked at that point in school, but the public schools hadn't. And I was like, what's the most positive way to address this? Let's not be hostile. And this is in Edwardsville, Illinois, where there is a Friday protest at the library every Friday. You know, God bless y'all for that First Amendment flex. I have no problem with you doing that. But I mean, we did one protest and we were like, we should see the kids smile if they want to.
Yeah, you can still wear a
Wear
mask.
your mask.
If you
but
wanted.
if a kid doesn't want to, let's not make him wear his mask or her mask. And they were like, F you, crazy jerks. Okay, sorry. The masks did come off. Let's see here. Do you support President Trump's efforts with Iran? Yes, no, less than before, or more than before, Ryan?
I'll just say yes.
Brad?
More than before.
I'm a yes. 5% of you say no. 8% of you say more than before. 12% of you say less than before. 75% say, yeah, we support the guy. Thank you for being here. I'm so glad to be back. I'll be back tomorrow once again, of course, in the Mark Reardon Show on 97.1 FM Talk. Next.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Money, sponsored by Ethos.
Nothing can ruin a friendship quite like money.
We actually see that happen all the